Oh, yes. New year, new technical difficulties.
Yes. Solve
technical difficulties, but technical difficulties nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yes, we sat down to record this podcast a week ago, only for Stephen to realize that his microphone cable had died.
I had taken it downstairs to use it down there, and had not taken it back upstairs, and somehow it got broken in that time.
So frustrating, man. But yeah, we tried recording a little bit with like the headset mic, and that was just a disaster.
No. This thing. My headset is a piece of garbage. For sure.
I think most headsets, I mean, they're not, it's like, it's funny because it's like when we just talk, it sounds fine. But like the second that I listen to it in the way that recording, like I would normally set up the recording, I was like, oh God, that's awful.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's been a minute since we talked.
I thought we did one in January already.
We didn't.
Oh God, wait, what?
Yeah, no. I mean, we did the Christmas episode, which aired in January, but no, we have not actually done a January episode yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Wow, yeah. Well, yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah. How was Christmas?
Great. How was your Christmas?
Very good, very good. What do you guys do on, I mean, like, we
do Thanksgiving too.
You do Thanksgiving too. Got it. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's just that identical. I throw some stuff under the Christmas tree and then open it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we did Ukrainian Christmas dinner. So
ooh, nice.
Yeah. So we did borscht, of course. Bought pierogies, but made halchi. So
sure.
Which, I'm glad we didn't try and do both because holy fucking shit, I forgot how much work and how long it takes to make halchi.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, oh, you boil the cabbage leaves and you make the filling, you put them in and you throw them in the oven and it's done. Piece of cake. Forgetting that's like a little bit of draw two circles, then draw the rest of the fucking owl.
There's some physical labor involved in stuffing those cabbage rolls. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And even with like dad doing the leaves and mom and I, well, mostly mom, not really so much me, doing the cabbage rolling, like it took fucking ages. Yeah. And then also I forgot that it takes like 2.5 hours to cook in the oven, which is another whole can of worms. So yeah, it was an adventure, but delicious nonetheless.
Yeah, traditional Bartlett Christmas then.
Traditional Bartlett Christmas. Yeah. And then New Year's, Lauren was super sick, so
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, so she was basically slept all of New Year's, and I think I watched fucking YouTube videos for most of the night.
That's okay.
Maybe played some video games.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I just slept. Yeah.
Fair
Sleep
enough.
is good.
Yeah. That sounds like you're traditional. I feel like last year we talked, you're like, I always sleep through Thanksgiving.
I do not care. My roommates stayed up, but I did not.
I always stay up till midnight. I feel like that's, for me, I can't get out of it. It's like the correct thing for me to do, but Yeah, no, I mean, more power to you. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Nothing particularly. I don't know. It's kind of a dead space right now. I am excited about Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited about that. I haven't actually watched the new trailer yet to see if there's anything, but I mean, like everything I've seen so far, it just seems like it's really, like it looks like it's going to be really good.
Well, so the embargo is up tomorrow.
Oh.
Like tomorrow morning, essentially.
Oh.
So there's already people playing it on Twitch.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So I mean, that's a great sign because it's not a broken piece of garbage.
I mean, because you've seen it being played on Twitch?
Yeah, so like I've seen people play it, and it's not like a sponsored stream, right? Like,
okay,
it's
fair,
someone
fair,
who's
fair,
just
fair.
playing the game, and it's like, oh, good, it runs.
I get your meaning now.
Yeah, because Cyberpunk happened.
Yeah.
So
indeed,
I want to see some third-party sources of gameplay before I make any decision, but it looks good.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I expect at some point I'm gonna get it. Although I've been trying to play video games that I need to play.
Yeah, sure. What have you been playing?
I have played actually. So I don't remember if we talked about this last time. Maybe I would. No, you know what? I wasn't finished with it yet. That's why. I finally beat XCom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's kind of where I come from, honestly. There.
I found that First of all, it was funny because, like, you know, in my mind, I had been playing the game for a lot longer. Turns out, I think I was only like maybe 4 or 5 hours into the game when I had quit like a couple of years ago. So I thought I was like 20, 30 hours into it, but apparently it really wasn't clicking with me. But like the rest of the game, I mean, I pretty much breezed through it. I'm trying to think about, let's see, do I still have it? No, I don't have it on my well. I could still probably see XCOM. How long did I play it? I played it for 30 hours in total, and that includes another playthrough that was like maybe 4 hours or so where my save got corrupted and I lost everything.
So you played it on what, normal difficulty?
Normal difficulty. I did play enemy within instead of enemy unknown.
Sure.
Because I knew I was only going to play it once, so I was like, I'll play with the expansion shit.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, here's what I feel about that game. And I'll contrast it to another game, but you know, I felt like I could see the person that this game is for, but it wasn't me. Because it's like, I after finishing it, I was like, man, I made a lot of really bad decisions during the course of the game, especially like with regards to like the base building and like things I prioritized for like research and stuff. And I'm like, if I went back sight on like knowing what I know now, like I could bomb through this game, you know? And I think that's who this game is for, the person that wants to like go through it multiple times and like basically speed run it.
Yes. Those are my friends.
Okay. Well, there you go.
People who will be listening to this podcast potentially.
Yes. I was going to get one playthrough through this and then I was going to put it away. Yeah. So like for me, like I save scummed like crazy and it was just a slog and I was just like, ugh, it's just totally in contrast to one of the other games that I played over Christmas and into January was because you got me the new Mario Rabbids game.
Yes.
Which was just a treat. I mean, like that's what I like. It's like super light, casual fucking, you know, XCOM style combat, but like, you know, more of a power fantasy and less of like a missing the 95% sniper shot.
Yeah, there's an XCOM mod called the Long War mod that like turns up every dial to 11.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the most popular mods for that game, right? Like a lot of people just play that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people play it and they're like, I want to play more of this.
Yeah, they're like, yes, like I see how like if I make this on day 1 and I make sure to do this on day 3 and I never lose anybody, I can win. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a very like Dwarf Fortressy kind of feel to it in that way. You know, like that kind of like roguelike type progression.
I think it's for a lot of people, it's might be their first roguelike, like their first like because it's not a roguelike.
It's not a roguelike. Yeah, I was about to say, it's like we're both gonna get roasted for calling it a roguelike. It's an XCOM.
It's XCOM, yes, obviously, but it's like it's that kind of like, oh yeah, you died, like that character is dead now, like too bad.
Yeah. It feels like I was meant to fail like completely and start over. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's 100% what you're meant to do. Yeah.
Yeah, because
then you're meant to fail later and like figure out what you did wrong there, and then you start again and you just keep restarting.
And that's the thing I didn't like about it. Like there was a point in time where the shit got out of hand and I lost a couple countries to the XCOM project. Like they quit because they got, you know, attacked by aliens too many times.
And your playthrough's done now.
Well, no, it was fine. Like it kept going.
Oh,
like
really?
you can lose a certain amount and you won't be ruined. But like, you know, it was just like it was because I had not built enough satellites and I hadn't built enough jets prior to that point. And like that was a decision I had made 15 hours ago. Yep. And it's just like, okay, cool. I mean, if I'd known that in advance, I would have prioritized different shit, but like, okay, whatever. So I just wrote it off, but it was to me, it was annoying because I knew I was only going through this game once, you know? Whereas like I could see somebody else being like, okay, cool. So what I need to do is on day, like you're saying, like on day 3, I need to build like a bunch of jets. I need to build a bunch of, you know, and build up.
You're literally, you're like making me flashback to college because these are like the exact conversations that I've had on a couch in my friend's dorm. It's like, yeah, man, we clearly just need to build the fucking satellites earlier. Like, but if we like rush for laser weapons, you know, that's the appeal. But it's not for everybody. And I don't personally play XCOM either. Yeah.
So not for me. Totally get who it's for, but me not it's not. So I also played Inscryption.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait, Inscryption.
That's the card game one.
Oh, that is the card game. Okay. Yes.
That one was really good. I got super sucked into that. I guess spoilers for
I'm already
Inscryption.
spoilered, yeah.
Yeah, more for everybody else, because like this gets really like it's very quickly very hard to not spoil Inscryption because there's just so much. So like, you know, Inscryption's not that long of a game, so if you have not played it up to this point, like just take a pause, beat the game, come back. Okay. Now, thanks. Great. Now that you've beaten Inscryption. The second part of that game, after you get out of like whatever his face is, the woodsy man.
Yes.
Like, and you get into like the main game, I found that like that started to drag for me. Because like I was just like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like it ended up going quicker than I thought, but it was just like, oh fuck, I gotta go through like this whole thing again.
Did you beat it?
Oh, I beat it. I beat it the whole thing. Yeah.
The moon and everything.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I did the whole thing.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I didn't do Casey's mod, and I obviously didn't, you know, go to like the northeast of Canada and do the ARG because they've already dug up all of the shit.
Yes,
so it's a little bit too late.
Yeah,
but you know, but I did watch a video. I watched, I guess, what is it? Game Theory's video on finishing the ARG.
Okay.
Which was super fascinating. Like, if you haven't watched that, you should. That's the rest of the game is watching them solve.
I will
the
have
ARG.
to watch that then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, I mean, it doesn't really reveal that much more than you would have already kind of intuited at that point. Like, okay, clearly there was some weird government shit, and like, you know, Casey got involved in this, blah blah blah. Like, you could get the gist, but like, it fully fleshes out the rest of the story. And like the ARG, like listening to like how they had to solve it, and like how they had to like decode the ciphers and literally dig something up in fucking northern Canada or whatever. Like, you know, it was a whole thing, but it was really cool. But yeah, Inscryption was really fun. I actually I really enjoyed the initial card game portion of it, you know, like the later card building like deck building thing was just getting a little bit tiring. And I didn't really love the mechanics in like Act 3, but the initial like go at it, like when I figured out that you could, you know, when I got the squirrel totem and I was able to like respawn infinite squirrels. Oh yeah, it popped off real quick after that. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, so Inscryption, that was great. That was, you know, I'd been meaning to play that for ages, so I was really glad that I got around to that.
Yeah, it always looked very interesting. I haven't gotten around to it myself.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think even with it all spoiled for you, like, it's still worth playing.
No, yeah, it looks fun. I might get around to it one day. There's always games.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yes. And so then Psychonauts 2, I did play, and it was great. I mean, you know, it was like, I didn't really have like, I don't have like a nostalgia for Psychonauts 1 because I didn't really play it like at the time. Like, I played Psychonauts 1, I don't know, maybe like 6 years ago or something. So long after it came out. But you know, because like there's some people that like, I feel like complained a little bit about Psychonauts 2, that maybe it was like, I don't know, dumbed down a little bit or something. I don't really know. But okay. I mean, yeah, the usual complaints, right? But like for me, I guess I didn't really like, I don't remember Psychonauts 1 that well. I just like remember the broad strokes. And so Psychonauts 2 was great. Like, it was just like more of Psychonauts 1 as far as I was concerned. And also looked really good, like, surprisingly. I don't know, like, which was
it did, yeah.
I was just kind of like, wow, this, like, I didn't, like, I expected it to, like, obviously be updated graphically, but I was like, I didn't expect for it to just be like, oh, this game is gorgeous. Like, it's really weird.
It's a platform, it's an N64 game, essentially, right? Like, it's a 3D platformer from, like, days gone by. Like, there's no, like, complicated physics, really. It's not like, you know, just like, of course, it better look good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, I have the same, I feel like I have the same complaints about it that I had about the first one, and like the combat's a little bit janky, but like I got used to it. Once I accepted that, like, okay, look, I'm gonna have to like switch powers constantly. Like, that's not like, there's just gonna be menu diving. That's gonna be part of this. Once I just got over that, and like I didn't stubbornly stick to the same like 2 powers that I'd picked, or same 3 powers that I picked for every encounter, it started to click much more. But it was still a little bit like, it's kind of annoying that I have to like constantly switch powers, but whatever, I'll live with it.
Yeah, it's the kind of game where the combat feels more like an obstacle to the game than
yes.
Like, it's like that. I know I say this a lot about a lot of games, but like this is definitely one of those cases where I feel like, you can just kind of watch Psychonauts to a large degree. The fact that it's a video game is not really. No, I did not play it.
You did not play it. Okay, got it. Yeah, I think I could agree with that for Psychonauts. Like, to me,
Yeah.
I liked going through the story. I liked looking at it. I don't know that I necessarily needed to play it. I found that, like, like you said, this was a game I could have watched, but it's me. I want to play everything.
It's a video. I mean, it's nothing wrong. I mean, it was certainly a better experience, I'm sure, to some degree.
Maybe in some cases yes, in some cases maybe not. In
Yeah,
some cases,
exactly.
every
Yeah,
time I
yeah.
get to a combat encounter, I'm just like, oh god, okay, I guess.
It's like that High on Life game that came out.
Yeah.
It's essentially just like a comedy sketch.
Yes,
I watched that, and I am glad I did.
yeah. I've watched like clips from that, and I'm just like, okay, I get it. I don't need to play this.
Exactly. Yep.
And then, as you may or may not have seen, I'm working my way through Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes,
right
I
now.
have. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I gotta tell you, I forgot that Rockstar is really good at making video games. Like I've been dreading this. Lauren's been haranguing me for forever because she's like, it's a pony simulator. You got to play it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and it is. So because she like, wore that game down to the nub. So she's like, you have to play this game. I'm like, okay, fine.
Sure.
I will eventually play it. So I finally got around to it. But I've been dreading it for so long because, in my mind, I guess I had like a picture of like, every Far Cry game that I've ever played, like past Far Cry 3 and just like every Ubisoft sandbox. It's just like, I was just like, that was what I had in my mind. I'm like, oh God, it's just gonna be another fucking,
No, it's
giant. And then I was just like, then I started playing it. I'm like, oh, that's right. Rockstar is really good at making these.
Yes.
They know how to do this.
They are so good that like people come to expect their kind of games from completely separate game companies.
Yes.
You can't like play every arcade game. Like, are you even an open world game then?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, Rockstar does a very good job. I've always been hesitant about playing it again though, just because I dread the actual like main story of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the like failure like sound, the like, and the big red failure letters coming up on the screen. It's just like, oh, you strayed off the path. You jumped off the train too early. You shot the wrong person. Failure.
It's funny you say that because I up to this point I have not had that problem. In fact,
Really?
all of the times that I have died were random encounters in the world where like I get ambushed by like 12 guys and I don't run away fast enough.
Okay.
So if that is your major holdback, I don't think you'll have any trouble. Like I found none of the story like there's tension. Like it feels like I'm like that there's like it's has enough difficulty to keep me engaged. I'm not just plowing through, but like I haven't failed a single mission yet.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to check it out. It's been like $15 before. So
Yeah, I think that's when I bought it, when it was like $15 or something.
Yeah, it's like I will buy that and play it because I want to, I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance. I loved being a peasant out in the medieval world. I'm sure Red Dead Redemption will fulfill that for being a cowboy to some degree.
It's okay. So it's funny you say that because I was actually going to segue a little bit into a Kingdom Come thing that I forgot to say last podcast.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, first of all, the game is fucking gorgeous because of course it is. Like that's obvious. And like, the things that like the depictions of the areas that they're depicting are really spot on. The game looks really good. But the one thing that I noticed while I've been playing it, and it was the thing that I meant to mention when we were talking about Kingdom Come last time and like how it's really stuck in my head, is the forests. Because Red Dead takes place in in an exaggerated, like it's like a condensed section of America. So everything is like this is smaller scale. It's just like the portion of it that's like the plains is a smaller portion, and the portion of it's the like the distances between these things are like the distances of several states, and yet you can travel to them within 20 minutes. So like the game is a large scale condensed, whereas I think Kingdom Come is pretty close to scale with that section.
Yeah, pretty much 1-to-1, exactly.
It's pretty much 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And, I never really wander into a forest in Red Dead and feel like if I don't open my map, I'm never going to get out of it. Whereas I remember that, like, I think it was the, I think it was, what was it, like rabbit hunting that you go with, like,
it's one of the first quests. Yeah.
And like, I remember walking through that forest and just being like, holy shit, I'm in an actual forest.
Yeah. Imagine doing that in hardcore mode when you don't have an icon on the map.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I have played the enther game in hardcore mode. Like, I can navigate ancient Bohemia.
Well, it's because you're hardcore, Steven.
The forests in that game are something else for sure. But.
Like, because I talk about immersion. I've talked about immersion quite a bit. I mean, even like the beginning of this podcast, like episode 1, when we were talking about VR shit and like, the levels of immersion on that. And I think that, more so than like, for me personally, more so than like the stuff you were talking about last time about like the fully realized mechanics of the mills and all that is the, because that attention to detail is really cool. But that to me wasn't the thing that immersed me. It's the feeling that I'm in an actual place, that like when I go out and walk out into the forest, that like nothing about it feels gamified,
Sure.
It doesn't feel like, oh, this is clearly they've laid out paths for you to go to these places. And like, this, like, no, it's just a fucking forest. Do it. Just do it. It's a forest stuff, Like,
I feel like at this point we've played too many games that are like essentially hallways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that just, it doesn't excite me anymore. Like, I need the forest.
Yeah.
I need it to just be an actual forest at point.
So Red Dead does not have that. But I mean, it has so many other things, like in terms of
like they focused on like the towns a lot too, right?
The towns and also like the landscapes as well, like, and the game's use of like mist and fog is something that I've never really seen before, but it just like it adds something to the world that is just like chef's kiss. It's very nice. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely will check it out. I just have been putting it off.
The other thing that I will say about it that I'm super impressed by, and that was a complaint for me about, as I mentioned last time on Kingdom Come. So there's a bunch of treasure map quests in Red Dead. You can come across various treasure maps at times.
Yeah, definitely.
And what I found is those maps are sometimes orders of magnitude, I feel like, more vague than the treasure maps in Kingdom Come. And yet I've yet to fail in finding the locations that they lay out. It's just like, I look at it, and at first I look at it, I'm just like, how am I ever going to fucking find this? But then I start scouring the map, and then I go to the location, and I start actually looking at the treasure map, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm figuring this out, And like, I had one where I was at the place, and I was sure I was at the place, and there was like a thing where I was just like, wait a second, there's no way it's going to make me jump over this. Like, that can't be right. But I was like, but that's what the map says. Okay. So I jump over it, and then I have to jump over another thing. And then I'm like, I get to the end of it. I'm like, oh, okay, obviously, there was nothing here. I turn around to go back, and I get the prompt to like search. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, I was right. This is actually where it is. So extremely impressed with like the way that they must have play tested the shit out of those, because it's like,
I was about to make the point. Yeah, it's just like, that's because Rockstar's got like 10 times as many people.
Yeah, fair, right? So they obviously have like the play testing and manpower to like throw at that, but like it shows, like it's
of course
it feels challenging, but it makes you feel, it gives me that feeling of being smart that I like in video games, where it's like, it doesn't tell you the thing, it's very just like, you'll find it or you won't.
Yep.
So yeah, very, very happy with that so far. But yeah, so that's been my fucking mad sprint through video games. I have no music actually to make you listen to this time, because I've actually been playing video games for the first time in like a fucking year.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Well, great. I mean, good to take a break every once in a while, let the hobby breathe.
Yeah, I desperately needed
let
to.
Let your creative juices recharge. Yeah.
Yeah. And also just, I feel like I haven't played video games in like a year.
Well, yeah, you got some good ones going then.
Yes. It's been a long time coming.
The only new thing I've played is a recent acquisition called Soul Ash.
Yeah, I've been seeing you play that. What is that?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's one of those just like indie roguelike survival RPG games. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like Rust or something like that.
Yeah, but like, pixel graphics.
Oh, like that. Got it. So like more like Terraria and things like that.
Yeah, more like Terraria or like
Terraria.
It's like kind of like Kenshi mixed with like,
No wonder you've been playing a lot. You love
bunch of other games. Yeah. The whole game is like you are like an eldritch god return, and your goal is to just devour everyone's soul.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's great. And like we were talking about, it's one of those games where like Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's very like realistic, right? With the way the map is set up, and so like the forests are like endless forests, and like the towns actually all make sense. And the one city that's on the map is so large, right? Like an actual city would be. That I have spent. I've spent like 10 hours, like just slowly churning through people in this city. And it's like I still haven't finished exploring the whole thing yet. Like there's still big black chunks on my map in this city, despite the fact that like it's all I've done for the past week. It's just like, because I'm a necromancer. That's the class I chose, and so just like I have a giant zombie horde. It's like I'm just constantly raising zombies and watching them die in this city. It's ridiculous.
That sounds like your kind of game.
Yep, it is. It's just like, fully, you can like go to a wheat field and chop it down and make it into bread, that kind of game.
Got it. Okay. So it's got that it's almost like what Noita or whatever, where it's just like.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Totally interactive. Like you can destroy everything. You can craft anything that exists. You can build it. Right. Yeah.
That is, it's another one of those games that I feel like if it came out like 20 years ago, I would have like eaten for breakfast. But now I just listening to you talk about it is just like, okay, cool. That sounds like a game I would like to watch and not play.
Yeah. I will say it is tedious.
Oh, I bet.
It's just like, it turns out that killing everybody. Oh my God. Oh. It's
everybody's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It's just like you get tired. It's just like, why the 100th like blacksmith you kill? It's like, okay, oh, is that the last one? Finally,
my arms are tired from all this killing.
It's like I want to be done killing people, but no, there's still lots of people left.
Jesus, Murphy. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's good though. I mean, that's how realistic it is. It's like it would be just really tedious at a certain point, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. You just get like, it just becomes like rote at a certain point. Exactly. You're just like, oh well, another day of killing.
Yeah, because literally all my character doesn't need to eat or anything. Like other classes, and so like I kill somebody, I skin their body with a knife, and then I raise their corpse, and that's the loop for that class, and that's all I do. And I can't stop, because if I stop, I'll get overwhelmed by the people that are attacking.
Oh my God.
So it's just like, I just get on for an hour, and I'm just like, okay, click, 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 B, raise. It's like, I want to do it, because I want to see what the game has to offer, but boom, boom, it's getting bad.
I don't know how you do it. It's same deal with Kenshi. Like, although, I looking back on it now, because I feel like I had a similar problem that you had with Disco Elysium, in that I refused to meet the game on its own terms.
Yes. Oh, exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Like, I went into Kenshi, like, basically trying to play it like a Bethesda, like, Elder Scrolls RPG, just like, I'm going to set off and grab some equipment. And like, it's like, you can't do that. Clearly. Like, it's one of those games where you obviously need to like read the wiki, figure out how to like get your character set up initially, do the things of like, and I didn't do that at all. Like, I wandered off into the wilderness and got murdered, and then reloaded, wandered off into the wilderness and got murdered, reloaded, wandered off the wilderness, got murdered, and refunded the game. Like, I clearly like just was refusing to engage with the mechanics as they were intended to be engaged with. And so I guess I'm to blame for not liking that game. I still don't know if I really want to go back and play it, because I don't feel like I'll click with it. Like, I feel like even if I got into it, I got too many other things I want to do with my life.
It's okay. We can like different games.
Yes.
It's okay. It's like, I'm not going to go back to Disco Elysium.
I think what frustrates me about it is it's a game I could have liked at an earlier time in my life, and I just don't feel like I have time for it anymore. It's just like, I want to be able to experience this game, but like, I don't want to experience it now anymore.
Yeah. If Disco Elysium had been the first like CRPG style talkie game I ever played, with that kind of like choose your character's development role, through this interactive story, but like I've played games that more specifically pander to my tastes that also do that.
Yeah.
And so it's lost on me.
It's fair enough.
But yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't recommend Soul Ash to you, for instance. Like,
yeah. I don't think I'm going to play
that
it
with the 10-foot pole. Yeah, definitely not. Like it's hard for me to like play it.
Feels like a game I need to like watch people play, because like I love watching people play Dwarf Fortress, so I can imagine watching people play that would be very similar.
Because the Dwarf Fortress has adventure mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can like just play as a person and wander around.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. It's just like it's built around that instead of the other way around.
Yeah, interesting. Which is actually funny, because I think that if I was watching some interview with Tarn Adams, and I think he was saying that initially the game was supposed to be the adventure mode as the main game, and it just spiraled out of control.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could easily see. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like, I think that the fortress mode was meant to be like an afterthought type of thing.
Yeah.
And then they just kept building on it. Eventually that was just like, okay, I think this is just the game.
I mean, I could totally, it's just like, okay, well, my character needs to like eat still. So I should probably like set up some sort of garden somewhere, just to have a food supply for emergencies. And I guess I should build a wall, and I guess I need a well, and maybe someone to guard the well. And then I need a bed for them. And it's just like, that's how it happened. He essentially made the game that is the gameplay loop.
Because I think what he was saying actually was that you would play the fortress mode, and like you would, like, a disaster would happen fairly early on. Mm-hmm. And then the point of the game was that you would go through in the adventure mode and loot the fortress, and depending on how developed the fortress was at that point, like you would get up like a better score, because you know more about it, and all that stuff. But then like the fortress mode ended up getting to the point where it's like, well, what if it continues on for longer?
Yeah.
and longer and longer.
What if I could get even better stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I really should pick up Dwarf Fortress again. It was fun.
I'm tempted. If ever I was going to play another game like that, it would be Dwarf Fortress, because it's just like, it's the perfect version of that thing.
You were talking about earlier how you don't like understand how I do it essentially, right?
Uh-huh.
And like the appeal, like it's the same way with Noida or Kenshi or Soul Ash when I'm playing now, especially Soul Ash, because like I stumbled upon that game by accident. Like it doesn't have a big like following. The wiki is incomplete, right? And so like there is unknown information, and like I want to know what's at the end of that game, and like it's not on the internet, I don't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like same with Noida, is like there's a lot of information in Noida that like is not available to be known unless you play the game, can't experience parts of Noida, right? It's like,
is that still true though?
No, not especially not for Noida. Noida's gotten way too popular.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I feel like there's bazillions of videos.
But it's like how Dark
now.
Souls used to be, for instance. Like Dark Souls used to be like, they're like, only recently. I mean, they still kind of figure things out about the Dark Souls, but they've mostly figured it out.
Yeah,
but that's the appeal. And so like Dwarf Fortress has like a huge amount of like stuff that is like so far down into the game that who knows? I mean, you could find it obviously on the wiki. Dwarf Fortress is explored. But
yeah, it's trodden ground, although it is constantly updated. But like, no, I get that though.
There's the deep, and then there's like the deep in Dwarf Fortress, and like you can go past that to like, apparently there are eldritch horrors or something if you go deep enough, and it's like I've never even gotten to the phase of like the deep. So
I've got my fortress. I got like nowhere in that game.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah. I mean, you could play for 100 hours and be nowhere.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that might even be preferable. I mean, it's like Minecraft in that sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously Minecraft is like Dwarf Fortress in that sense, but to be more correct. But like, it's just like the concept of just like, yes, there are things you can do, but like, so what?
Yeah, it's like you could.
But no, I get where you're coming from. I think that's why I like Dark Souls so much, because I think I also like that thing of, the kind of discovery and the kind of like, oh wow, there's like this whole thing that like exists, that like you could just kind of stumble upon,
it's literally a cult.
Yeah. And like, but Dark Souls has a beginning and an end, and so it's very easy to like also make progression, whereas those other games, it's like you said, you could play them for like 100 hours, 1,000 hours and get nowhere, dude. And like I need games to finish at some point.
I bet there's lots of people who don't know that, like, I'm sure that's not true anymore, but like, in the original days of Dark Souls, right, how many people did the Dark Seeker Cath ending, right? Like, that's that's a weird thing to do. Like, you have to just kind of figure it out, right? There's nothing in the game like being like, oh, by the way, like you can do this other thing, like there's this other alternate path. It's like, no, you gotta just figure that out for yourself.
It's interesting because it's like, you know, you like that and I like that, but you don't want an entire game about that where the whole point is to do that. You want that to be a secondary objective.
Yes, I want that to be an option when I've like...
Because you bounce pretty hard off of Return to the Obra Dinn, which to my tastes is what you're talking about. Of just like the whole game is just figure shit out for yourself. But
well, yeah, exactly. So there's no like the game is I mean, I'm not saying it's hand holding me, but like
you know that you have to do it.
I know that I have to do it. There's no like it's not a black box. It's to use you know, a Family Guy joke. It's like, well, you could get the free yacht or you could get the mystery box, and you never know what's going to be in the mystery box. It could even be a yacht.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of stupid that I go for the mystery box every time, because I could just go for the yacht.
Yeah.
But I love the mystery box.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I think I never really appreciated that difference because I was always surprised. I was like, I feel like you do like this thing, but I get it. You don't like that thing when it's the objective. You like that thing when it literally is like some secondary fuck off thing.
I don't. Yeah,
not even secondary, like super tertiary fuck off thing.
I want the developer to be hiding that part of the game from me.
Yeah. No, fair enough. For me, like, I don't mind. I just like the unraveling the mystery. Like Outer Wilds, same deal.
Yeah, no,
you know,
I'm definitely on the crazy end of the spectrum, I think, on this one.
Fair enough.
But yeah, cool.
Yes, so anime.
Yes, good. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Did you watch Mob Psycho?
Yes, done. Yep.
Okay, you watched the new episodes.
Yes, seen it all. I mean, I'd already read it, but yes.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, of course you would have read it. That makes sense. Yeah. So Mob Psycho, excellent as always. You know, I always love that. But I found a news show that I really enjoyed. Don't know if you've heard of it. You ever heard of Psychopass?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
Psychopass rules. How did this fly under the radar for me for so long? Like, because I love cyberpunk shit, and I love Ghost in the Shell, and Psychopass is basically just another Ghost in the Shell with slightly different characters and motivations and things, but it's the same fucking story type, you know. It goes down a lot of the same paths. And it rules. It fucking rules. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like knockoff, but it's not. It's just a different but also good Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, no, Psychopass was like the huge anime for a good like 2-3 years.
Man. I have not been plugged in for so long. I mean, it's only now that I like know what the things are that people watch, because it's like I got the Crunchyroll subscription and it's like, oh, this is the things that people are watching. I'm just like, okay, I guess I know what it is now.
Yeah, you're keeping up with the seasonal releases now, right?
Yeah, you know, I'm like, oh, I know what's coming out, and I know what I need to like put in my queue to watch once it finishes, because it takes fucking forever. That's the thing, by the way, I hate, because of how long it takes for fucking anime to come out. Like I feel like it's like something starts in like April and I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'll check back in October when it's done.
I mean, that's the correct way to do it. Yeah. I do always watch the first episode of most shows that I'm interested in, just to like see.
Oh, okay.
Because then I'd usually drop them.
What I usually do is I wait till it's finished, and then I check on Reddit for what people thought of the show. And here's the thing. It's not a great barometer, because there's going to be almost every show, there's going to be people who are like, no, it rules. Like, you should watch it. Yeah. But what I have found is that it at least lets me avoid the really bad shows, because sometimes you get on and people are like, this show has no redeeming qualities, don't watch it. And no one defends it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Don't watch that one then.
Do you know about My Anime List?
I've seen My Anime List. I think I sometimes check that as well.
Yeah. That's what I use to keep track of everything. I find that they have like a seasonal anime chart, right? That keeps track of everything by season. And if you just kind of filter out anything that has like a 6.5 or less, that generally like weeds out most of the true garbage. And then you're only left with the regular garbage.
Although, you know, there's some 6.5 or less that I'm just like, well, we're probably going to watch that because I think Lauren will love it. So
I mean, actually, I'm imagining Lauren likes watching like mostly like romance focused anime.
Yeah, you know, if it's trashy, that's, you know,
trashy, like yeah. like Fruit Basket and stuff.
Fruits Basket is not trashy. Like, God damn it, Steven. Watch Fruits Basket. It's so good. I hate you.
It's not what I mean. Okay. But like it's
no, like we just watched
it's shoujo.
Yeah. I mean, we just finished watching, what was it? Free, like the swimming anime.
Yes. Okay. Shoujo. Literally. Okay. Sorry. When I say trash, I mean shoujo.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some shoujo shows. Free's actually really good.
Free is good. Free actually was good, great. But it's like, it's funny. It's just like, it's like, oh, is this a boys love anime? It's like, no, it's just a sports anime. I'm like,
no, it's a boys love anime.
I'm like, don't lie to me, you fucking. It's like I know you're trying to say that it isn't, but it is.
I have the same disdain for like, quote unquote fan service anime. So I feel like it's fair for me to call shoujo trash because of that. Because it is just fan service anime.
God, you really should watch Fruits Basket though. Like, it actually drives me crazy because you would love it. That's the problem. You would love it.
You know what? I'm gonna put it right on this list here, and I'm gonna watch it before the next time we talk.
Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I finally done what hordes of 13-year-old people in middle school couldn't do.
Couldn't do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And
no, Fruits Basket is one of those ones where I had put it on the list. I was like, oh, okay, like it'll be good. Everybody recommends it, like, and it'll be just kind of like whatever. And Lauren and I will have a fun time watching it, and it ruled. So I was just like, oh, okay. I need to I need to stop judging books by their cover on some of this stuff because it's bad. Like sometimes, like I'm just like sometimes it and that goes both ways. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that looks like it's really interesting, and then I'm like, oh, this is trash.
Yeah. Sometimes you can definitely judge by the cover when it comes to anime, though.
Sometimes you can. Yeah. But I have found, so we've kind of burned out a little bit on sports anime. Like we watched a couple here, and obviously Free is a sports anime. But after plowing through baseball for like 150 episodes, we kind of bounced off sports anime a little bit, and I've been looking for a new thing to get obsessed with. Have been, I think we talked last time, I've been watching a bunch of isekai because I always enjoy those. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I've realized that I fucking love are anime about making things.
Okay. Yeah,
so we watched New Game, which is about like a girl going to work at like a video game developer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that ruled. And then we also watched Hands Off Isekai. Hang on. I wrote it down. Did I pronounce that right? Yeah, Isekai. Which is incredible, actually. Okay. It's like, it's beautiful because it's an anime about kids like making an anime in school.
Okay. Sure.
And like, but they use, like, unlike some of the other ones that I've seen that were anime about making anime, they actually use the animation itself to convey a lot of the things that they're talking about. And so like, what it ends up being is that, like, it's beautifully fucking animated about making anime, and it's super stylistic. That, if you have not watched that, I think that you would adore that. That one is like crazy good. Only one season, which sucks. I wish I could watch like 30 seasons of it, but yeah. So that one is definitely worth watching.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, we've watched. I mean, and then a ton of like shoujo. Just, whatever. Although some of them have been good. Some of them, as long as they're watchable, like we watch like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is like, awesome. Is it good? It's watchable. Is it good?
Yeah, it's comfy.
It's comfy. It's ridiculous, but it's
wholesome.
Wholesome is a strong word.
For Japan, it's wholesome.
Okay, yeah. For anime, it's wholesome, but yeah. So but yeah, no. So I mean, the standouts though have been Psychopass and Hands Off Isekai. Those were like huge. Like absolutely, definitely watch.
There's a lot of Psychopass too.
There is. I think it's on Amazon, so I think they're gonna make more now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, because I mean,
there's
cool
concept.
It is a cool concept. Like
the concept, by the way, being that like everyone has a crime score.
Yeah. I guess we didn't explain it at all.
We didn't explain it at all.
Yeah, and most of the stories revolve because like the whole point of it is like all the weapons that the like law enforcement are armed with feed into that system. So
you can only shoot at people who like the system says deserve to be shot.
Yes. And so then you have people who probably deserve to be shot, but for whatever reason, their crime score doesn't increase, and therefore basically making them immune to being enforced. And it's like, it's a lot of the stories revolve around that, and you'd think that would get old quick, but actually it's pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah, it's super cool. I've only ever seen the first season. I never really went and watched the rest, so I'm probably just gonna go.
It stays good the whole time. And the movie that they came out with, like it's effectively like the end of season 3, setting up season 4. And
oh my god, wait, there's 4. I thought there was only 2 seasons of the movie. I didn't even know they went to 4. Wow.
Well, 4 has not come out yet, but I think because Amazon had just bought it, like there's a fairly good chance we're gonna get a season 4.
No, almost for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, fuck. What else? What else has been going on? I think that's basically about it.
Watching Last of Us?
No, I don't have HBO, so at some point, I never watch any of the HBO shows. Like, I will eventually get around to them. Like, but you know, I don't have an easy means of watching them.
Both of the shows I'm about to recommend are HBO shows. So.
Is Last of Us any good?
It's amazing.
Okay, that's what I've heard. I've heard everybody loves it.
Because it's the Chernobyl guy.
The Chernobyl guy.
The director of Chernobyl.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I knew that it was whatever his face is from Game of Thrones and whatever her face is from Game of Thrones. But
yeah. But no. It's the Chernobyl guy, and it feels like Chernobyl.
Okay, so it's gonna rule. Okay.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's just captivating and awesome. So,
okay,
yeah.
I will put it on the list.
Yep, I would highly recommend it. I've also been watching White Lotus. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I feel like I have, but maybe what is it?
It's like it's kind of like a weird, like more serious version of The Office, but at a hotel.
Okay.
It's all about just like the, you know, horrible rich guests that come to this resort and the like shenaniganry they get up to and how horrible they are. It's good. I would watch it. Lauren will probably like it too, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
that kind of,
that description sounds like something that she would be into.
I'll say this. I've watched both seasons and but I don't know if I've liked it.
Okay.
So I think it'll be perfect, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine. You know,
I hate awkward drama shows. Usually.
Oh, is it an awkward drama? Maybe I'll tell her to watch that.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I usually hate these kind of shows, and yet somehow I've seen both seasons, and I'm like, I'm confused.
Fair enough. There's been more Henry Cavill news. I don't know if you heard about that.
What specifically?
So I think the last time we talked, I had mentioned that he left the Witcher show.
Yep.
And his plan was to go back and play Superman.
But then that didn't work out.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was reading it. Like, apparently they told him, it's like, oh yeah, we'll absolutely have you back to play Superman. He was like, great. And then like the director was like, no, we won't. I'm doing something different. I don't want him to play Superman. I've got a whole another thing I'm going to do with this. So then he had to turn around and be like, I guess I'm not playing Superman. Oops. But apparently he's going to fucking not only star in, but also executive produce, I believe, a Warhammer 40K show.
Yeah, cool, because fucking Games Workshop is finally funneling all of that Total Warhammer money into something.
That sweet Total Warhammer money.
They hired the Astartes guy. Obviously, you know that.
Yes, I do know that.
And so, like, they've been, releasing all those TV shows on their streaming service. So I think they're gearing up. I'm excited as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he'll do a great job, and I mean, he's perfect for it. So yeah, I am stoked beyond belief about that. So it all works out okay. We lose probably a good Witcher show, but
that's okay. We got the first season.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I am still going to watch the first season with Liam, just to see how it is.
Yeah.
But, I'm fully and completely expecting it to either suck or be maybe so bad that it's good. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's Netflix, so I don't have too high hopes.
Yeah.
I watched some other Netflix stuff recently.
Have you watched Wednesday?
I did. Yes. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yep.
Is it good?
It's amazing.
Okay. Because it was on the list, but I didn't know if it was like worth watching or if it was just another show. Okay. So Wednesday is worth watching. Okay.
Yeah. I watched the first episode and I was like, oh God, this feels like it's going to just this feels like a really solid first episode. And then like Netflix is going to just let it descend into like CW garbage. But it did not do that at all. And it just was great. And it's great. I would highly recommend it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it's on the list, after Edge Runners, after Sandman, after...
Oh my God, you haven't seen Edge Runners and Sandman?
After 1899.
Yeah, well, you don't have to bother watching 1899.
Really? That's a big shift. You were hard recommending last time.
Yeah. I mean, they canceled it. I don't know if they've done that
Oh no, they hadn't. So they can't. Oh, okay. So they're not going to finish it.
They canceled it. So it's like I mean, the season does have like an ending that's like satisfying. It's like, okay, that's what's happening. Cool. So like you can still watch it if you get around to it, but I would put it at the bottom if you're listening.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I've gotten so used to that now with anime that like, where they're just like, hey, fuck you. We're just never going to finish the story. I'm like, cool. Thanks. That was fun. It's fun that you did that to me.
Read the horribly translated visual novel.
Yay. Well, that's why, that's why I got to keep studying my Japanese, Steven.
Light novel.
Yeah. Got to keep studying my Japanese so that I can eventually read those books.
Yeah.
That is, by the way, so, I mean, I've been doing Japanese for upwards, like 1,000 days or whatever. Right. And like, I've been.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I'm still on the train. Like I'm not stopping. I do it every night. Like I've got my Japanese. Like, but holy shit, man! Like I feel like reading Japanese is still such a far off goal as to almost be unfathomable at the rate at which I'm learning. Like I feel like I will if I keep at this for another like 5 years, right? Like I could speak Japanese just fine. I think at the rate that I'm learning, but I think that I'm another 10, 15 years out, again, at the rate that I'm learning, from being able to read it. Because, like, it's just, those two things are so not connected to each other.
Well, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that that's just, like, how it is, right? Just, like, even people in Japan don't, like, know all of the Japanese characters for everything. I might be thinking of Chinese, though.
No, you're, I mean, so that's, like, there is, like, especially, like, it, media that's directed at like school age children, restaurants where like, that are family restaurants, like they have like they have either katakana for the menus or they have what is it? What's the word? What's the word
Hiragana?
For when you have stuff above the kanji? What is that called? Furigana.
Oh, hiragana. Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I didn't say it confidently. I was like, hiragana?
Not hiragana, furigana.
Oh, then I didn't say it. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. Hiragana is one of the writing systems. No, they have furigana, which is it's those little it's the hiragana above the kanji are the furigana. But like so, it's a weird concept because it's like, when you learn like, for instance, like when you learn French, or you learn Spanish, as you're learning the words, you're learning how to spell the words at the same time, Whereas like in Japanese, like there's no like, oh, I just know the alphabet and therefore I know how to spell all of the words. It's like, no. You need to learn all the little pictures too. You have to know all of those. Yeah. So it's much easier in Japanese to become fluent without becoming literate. Whereas it's obviously not impossible, but like if you're learning a language, like, like you would in school, it's pretty hard with like English or French or Spanish or whatever to not become literate while becoming fluent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. I think you're selling yourself short, though. You're probably because I think they like newspapers and stuff are written to be relatively understandable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the next step up from like menus.
Yeah, I mean, you need to know about like I think it's what is it?
600, right?
No. It's like 4,000 or something. What's the Joyo kanji? Oh, the Joyo kanji, I think, are the I still think
I'm still thinking of Chinese anyway.
No, okay, it's not that bad. Joyo kanji it's 2,136 characters. Ooh. Just it's a number. But like it's
daunting, yeah.
Yeah, it's daunting. I mean, it's funny because like I'd set some goals for myself 3 years ago or whatever when I first started this journey to try and learn Japanese, like really learn it. And my goals were be able to like do all of the touristy stuff. So like check into a hotel, order at a restaurant, usual pleasantries, like that kind of stuff, right? Like
sure.
Be able to do that. And then the second thing was be able to read a menu. Because I figured, okay, like whatever the amount of kanji you need to learn is, like there must be a smaller subset that is reading a menu. Surely that's doable. And I think that I have well and truly blazed past my first goal. Like I think I could check into a hotel not without some rough patches, but I think I could do it. I could easily order at a restaurant. That would be no problem. Ordering at a restaurant's not that difficult. Getting into a hotel's a little complicated because you got to know a bunch of words about, like, you know, and I'd have to brush up before I went. It's just like, you know, it's like, you know, they're going to tell you like when breakfast is, and they're going to tell you where your room is, and they're going to tell you about amenities. They're going to ask for your credit cards. Like, there's enough stuff that it's like complicated. Whereas like at a restaurant, it's just like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Can I have the check, please? Like, that's easy. But like, you know, I think I can have pretty surface level conversations in Japanese. And, you know, like if I was talking to somebody and like they were very polite and didn't like it and took their time with me and like, you know, allowed me to kind of speak very slowly. Sure. I think I could have a perfectly legitimate conversation with them, you know, about like stuff that like, it's like I could give an introduction. I could say like what I do for work and all that crap. Reading a menu, fuck, I have no idea. Every time I look up menus, I'm like, I've never seen this kanji before in my life. And I'm like, and I have specifically like looked up words on purpose for menus, and I'm still just like, cool, I feel like I know a pretty decent amount of these. I've never seen this before in my life.
I mean, I got to imagine, you know, Japanese food culture's got to move pretty fast.
Well, and the thing is, though, it's just like, sometimes I feel like I see things where they're like, oh, this is normally not written in kanji. Like, normally this is written in hiragana or katakana, you know, so it's, you know, like, you just need to remember that. I'm like, okay, cool. And then there's some restaurants that are like, how about fuck you, we're going to write it in the kanji anyway. I'm just like, I hate you. You're so rude. So goddamn rude. So yeah, Japanese is hard, the end.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm getting there. You know, I'm hoping the next time I go to Japan, I will have a fun time being able to speak really broken Japanese to people while they are very patient with me.
While they immediately switch to English so they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. I'll keep trying to talk in Japanese. They'll keep talking to me in English, and it will be a fun, awkward experience for all of us.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Cool. All right. Shall we jump into the main topic?
Yes.
Let's do it. All right. So I have a proposal. Because based on the last time we did a mixtape, the mixtape took some amount of time. And I expect to go through song by song like we did last time. So are you okay with doing the mixtape last?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So then in that case, I have suggested 2 albums. I did... hang on. I can't remember what
Mastodon's Remission.
Yes. Remission by Mastodon. And the Younger Years EP from Delta Sleep. And then Steven, as I just mentioned, did a mixtape. So we'll go into that in some more detail in a bit.
Yes.
But Steven, is there what's your preference for which one you want to do first?
I guess if we're going to do them, let's do Mastodon first.
All right, let's do it. That's kind of what I suspected. Let's do that.
Yes.
All right. Hit me with it. What did you think?
Why did you recommend this one?
Oh, yes. Sorry. God, thank you. Do you remember how we do this?
No
I don't remember how do we do this. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, okay.
So for once, I can be the one who's doing the podcast part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, yeah, Mastodon's Remission. Oh, man. So I wasn't really 100% sure you were going to love this album, truth be told. But I think that if you weren't going to bounce off this album totally, it's just because of how just batshit insane the entire thing is. And that's why I like it. Like, when the first time I heard this, I was just like, I don't think I've ever heard metal quite like this. You know, like I've heard some things. There's maybe one other album that I might compare this to, and it's something I'll recommend down the road. But, for different reasons, but like I just find this album, like especially like the song Trilobite specifically on this, but there's many other ones on here that I like. Yeah, but there's a ton of like there's stuff on here that I have just been searching for since then. Like, oh, this album rules. I want more music like this. And it sent me down a huge rabbit hole. It's actually how I discovered Cult of Luna. It's how I discovered a couple other bands that I'll probably recommend down the road. But like this was the kind of the patient zero for a lot of my music tastes within the past, maybe like, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Okay. Interesting. So this is like a foundational one for you.
This is a foundational one for me. I came across this, sometime in the last, 5 to 10 years. And just, it must have been longer than that because it was way before COVID. But, so like, I just, because I had listened to some Mastodon before. And then I listened to this album and I was just like, okay, this is my jam.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's interesting because, you know, my friends group is very into music, you know, in many different forms. And I've never been the biggest fan of metal ultimately, but a lot of people that I'm friends with are huge fans of metal. And so this album actually has sort of existed on the periphery of my awareness for a very long time. And when I first loaded up, it was like, oh, right. Yeah, this album. Like I've heard this played in a car dozens of times. I'm sure. Like someone has put this, let's listen to some Remission. Like, yeah, I've heard those words. So this was weird to listen to because it's like many of the songs were very familiar to me in sort of like a deja vu sense.
Oh, interesting.
Where it's like, oh yeah, okay, I think I've like March of the Fire Ants, like right away, right? It's like, oh yeah, okay, I've heard that. Like 100%. Like that's a song that like when I was in my teens, like I was listening to. Well, I mean, I wasn't. I was in a place where other people were listening to it. And so it's like in the way that you like, you know, you're talking about how it's like kind of like a unique, like foundational album for you. It's like kind of the same with me, I guess, in a way. It's like this is kind of what I think about when I think like non-death metal.
Okay.
Right? When I think of like the thing that's the closest to heavy metal without being that. Right? It's like I think of Mastodon.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, in many of the same ways, we probably share similar opinions about this album. Although you are right in that I don't, you know, I'm not hugely a big fan of it, just, you know, because I'm not a fan of the genre as much, right?
Yeah.
But that's, you know, of course. But yeah, no, I did like it, though. I mean, it's a good album, even though it's, like, long and I don't want to, like... samey is a bad word, but like it is 100% going all the time.
Let me make you feel a little bit better about that comment, because I feel like I have a little bit of trouble with this album up until Old Nessie.
Okay.
Like I like Crusher Destroyer through Workhorse. Like they're all good songs, but like I feel like they very quickly blend together, and I feel like I pull out less from them. But once we get to Old Nessie, that gets into the thing that I like about Mastodon, just like the riffs in that, because they're a little bit clearer in
for sure, yes,
starting there, that like that's where I start to really get into the album. So like I don't disagree with your comment of sameness.
Yeah, it's I don't what is Mastodon considered?
They're
like,
considered sludge metal, but like that, okay, I feel like that description only really applies to maybe through Blood Mountain.
Yeah, okay, because they've changed a lot over the years, is my understanding. Because like again,
I wouldn't consider
my periphery.
I wouldn't consider any of the stuff that they've done. Like, so I'm just looking at their discography real quick to make sure I've got the order right. Yeah, through Blood Mountain, I would say, because Remission is very squarely sludge metal. Leviathan, very squarely sludge metal. Blood Mountain starting to get away from it a little bit, but is still there. Once you get into Crack the Sky and Beyond, they're a prog metal band. They're a good prog metal band, but they're a prog metal band.
I remember my people talking about Blood Mountain being garbage. I remember correctly.
Blood Mountain's a transitional album. Yeah, I can see it's you know, Blood Mountain is in the same category as things like Black Album, where it's like you either are like, oh, okay, the transition is okay, or you're like they've now ruined their music.
Yes, I believe people I knew fell on the side of they've ruined their music.
Yeah.
At least at that time. I mean, it's been like 15 years. I don't know what's happened since then. But,
yeah. I mean, they've gone all over the place. I honestly, I've seen Mastodon several times live, and they're a great band, but like I think I've bounced off their most recent albums just because I'm like, okay, I get it now, but like and I would go see them live again, and I would listen to their new albums because I still like the sound. Just I don't need to listen to them because it's like I know what it's going to sound like. It's just going to be more of the same stuff that they've been doing recently, which is fine. But I just like this is the stuff that I really want from them. I want this kind of like craziness, like especially the drumming in particular on this album is just like is something that I have not heard very many times like before, and even the stuff that I would say is similar to this, specifically Richard Christie on Sound of Perseverance from Death, is the only one I really would ever describe as similar to this. Like similar, not the same. Like the drummer on this, Brand Daler, he's just batshit. Like it sounds like he's just randomly hitting a bunch of drums, but somehow it also works for me. So. And that's to me, that's really cool.
Yeah, I guess I'm too spoiled by like my initial like exposure to metal. It's like these drums feel like normal. Like this feels like the normal level of drums.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, yes, these sound like, it's like, you know, too much. It's like these are metal drums. I don't know. I'm very unrefined, I guess, when it comes to listening to metal because I don't do it a lot. So it's just like,
I guess, like, I mean,
because it's not absurd, I guess. It's like, it's not Berserker or anything, you know? It's like, I can imagine a human doing these movements.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. But I guess, like, if you listen to, like, the beginning of Crusher Destroyer, right? Like, I mean, the end.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, the intro is insane, yeah.
I mean, it's the whole thing to me just sounds like Phil's, you know? It just sounds like he's just, like, wailing on the toms, like, smashing cymbals. And it's just like, where's the beat? Who fucking knows? He's just like, I imagine, like.
I mean, the beat is the toms. What are you talking about?
Because it's like with something like Berserker or whatever. Berserker, right?
Yeah, Berserker. Yeah. I think their name is technically different than that, but
like, you know, I feel like the tech death drums, like, to me, I don't know, like it's they feel very precise, which is insane and crazy, right? But like, to me, it just sounds like a drum machine. Whereas, like, this doesn't sound like a drum machine to me. This sounds to me like it would suck to program this on a drum machine because it's too much. It's too many different things happening. Like, this is something that, like, I mean, obviously you could do, but, like, it seems like it's much easier to, like, just do organically because, like, you're just hitting a lot of different drums and it's like, oh God, I got to put this here and this here. It's like, oh fuck, I'll just let him play it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree there.
So, okay, so were there any standout tracks for you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I love March of the Fire Ants.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
I mean, that is such a classic track. Like, I mean, I feel like that is one of the tracks that they are like, if you know a Mastodon track, you know, like White Whale, Holy Grail, and you know this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Just like the part, especially in the middle around like 340.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I love that shit about, and that's again what I'm talking about with the drums. Like, that drum beat to me just sounds like bananas. It's like, it sounds like it's, what's the word? It sounds like it could be sloppy, but if you listen to it, it's not sloppy. It's just like,
no, yeah,
it's very erratic.
It's very technically impressive. I'm just spoiled. Like for like I've listened to so many ridiculous metal bands, and like, you know, there's that whole like period of my life, like G3 and all that, where like I got really into like people playing the guitar really technically right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I've since gone the entire other direction where like I'm not interested in, like, it's like, this is technically impressive and that does nothing for me.
It's interesting because it's like, to me, I mean, like, so it is technically impressive. That's actually not the thing that gravitates me towards it. Like, it's not that it's I think to me it's the fact that it sounds like it's like, if you didn't know anything about drums, it sounds like it's not technically impressive. To me, it sounds like it's like kind of messy, you know? Like, it has almost just like a kind of like they're, like I said, like they're just doing, like he's just doing fills, you know, that he's not even playing a beat. He's just kind of like randomly hitting a bunch of drums. And it's only when you like know a little bit more about playing drums that you're like, no, what he's doing is bananas. Like, it's like, it would be so hard to play because it's like, you're doing so many different fucking things at once. I don't know. Maybe like,
I think maybe I'm not sophisticated enough to like understand that distinction, because like this like it does sound chaotic, but like, yeah, of course it does. It's like a fucking metal drum.
Interesting.
Like it still feels controlled to me. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like, you know, have you ever listened to those like drum battles between oh god, what was his name? Do you remember like that, like he was like the quote unquote best drummer in the world, like he's like the most technically impressive soloist drummer?
I mean, that could describe a lot of people.
Yeah, there's like two guys though, like they were old school, like,
oh, like Buddy Rich?
Buddy Rich, exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Okay.
And it's like, you know, you listen to Buddy Rich, right? And it's like his solos feel like chaos to me when I listen to them, right? And it's like, I guess because it's combined with all the music, I can't separate the drums from the rest of the song, maybe is what it is. And so like, it still all sounds good. You know, like when I'm listening to this, it's like, yeah, he's going crazy on those drums, but like, because the guitar keeps coming in there, like there's never any, like, it never feels like it's lost control. Whereas like, I'm gonna like just quickly put on a random Buddy Rich
You also listen to or have listened to a fair bit of jazz, though, right?
Yeah, and a lot of freeform jazz.
And I think maybe that's where, because I haven't really, and I think that this is more rooted in that.
Yeah, because to me the closest thing to metal is classical music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like this is essentially classical music.
See, yeah, to me this is like jazz metal.
Okay, well, sure, that's another. Okay, yeah, this is swing. I guess that's another way to think. But it's like this is like very traditional, I guess. To me,
it has got a more like, I think that like what I like about this is the kind of, I don't know, it's to me it's insanely heavy is what it is to me. It's just like, as far as you can take heavy in heavy metal, this is that, you know, like it feels just like, because I mean, you know, like it's described as sludge metal, right? It's like sludge is the right word for it, you know. It's just like it feels just like this whole thing is just like a mire that's sticking to you.
Yeah, it definitely like. Yes, that is one way to describe it. It you get immersed in it, and then you get kind of drowned.
Yeah, and
then it's like, oh wait, which you know, as an album, I feel like it goes a little long, as I've said. But you know, individually, I like a lot of like the song. Back to March of the Fire Ants. I just wanted to, before I forgot about this part.
Sorry, I got you off on a tangent.
Yeah. There's a part. Oh yeah, right there. I love when they do. I love the like off tuning they do.
When
they go sharp, maybe, or flat.
What timestamp?
Around the 350.
350. Oh yeah, like where they're kind of like half bending it, like.
Yes. Oh, bending. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a quarter bend or something. Where it's like. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
That stuff's great. I love that. But like they do that a lot.
Yeah, this album definitely feels like it has a motif running through it.
Yes, thank you. That's a good word for it, I guess. Yeah, samey was not a good word. It's the album is doing a thing. I like, you know, after March of the Fire Ants, I don't really like Workhorse or Where Strides the Behemoth that much. Workhorse felt a little like screamo-y rocky to me, almost.
Interesting.
Just like around 740.
740.
It's like,
oh yeah, I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's almost poppy.
You know, I can hear it. I can hear what you're talking about. It's got like a catch to it.
I feel like I can like snap my fingers a little bit to that.
Yeah.
But I do like the engine vocals going on in the background though a lot.
The engine vocals?
Or the moaning, I guess maybe is a better word for it.
Where's that?
754 is when it hits. That like background vocal. You hear there actually it's at 752.
752. Hang on. I'm trying to hear it.
Right?
Wow. I never picked that out. Never picked that out. That's so funny.
Yeah. No, that's what I live for. Those are like the touches that like make a song.
Interesting.
I really appreciate that kind of thing. Because otherwise it's just like, you know, it's a 4-piece.
Yeah.
Is Mastodon a 4-piece? I don't even know.
Mastodon is 5.
Okay, sure.
No, wait, are they 5? Hang on.
Or something?
Hang on. There's 2 guitarists. No, it's 4. It's 2 guitarists, a bassist, and yeah, because and like it's funny because it's like I feel like it's the bassist mostly, but that's singing on this one. But by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Mastodon's bassist.
Oh no, I have not.
Yeah, hang on. It's, Troy Sanders.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see him. I'm there.
It's me. It's what I look like.
Hey, that's what you look like right now?
I shaved my beard a little bit, but like the long hair and the fucking beard is just like every time I look, I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I'm Troy Sanders.
The double point beard is amazing.
This one, this picture right here, actually for me really that really drives it home. That if you look at that, not the one that it's showing in the chat, but if you like actually click on it.
Sure. Oh yeah. Okay. That actually does look a lot like you. Wow.
It looks surprisingly like me.
Yeah, that looks. If you could have just told me that was you, and I would have believed you. So yes.
So Old Nessie for me is where this really starts to pop off because I love that like arpeggiated guitar thing. Do 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 do.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by classical, right? Is that like that is totally classical right there to me.
Yeah, and I think that's where what I like about this album is it has this kind of like classic metal type of like arpeggiated riffs and stuff like that. And then it just goes insane. And then it goes back to it, you know, like, and so like Trilobite, which is my favorite, like one off of this, does that like crazy. It's like, it's riffage combined with nuts, combined with riffage, combined with nuts. And like, I got obsessed with that sound. You know, like if Old Nessie does it, Trilobite does it 1,000 times over.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real standout, honestly, for me is the vocals.
Really?
Yeah, because he treads that line really well, you know.
Interesting. I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that, because you sort of bounced off of Cult of Luna, which to me is, because Cult of Luna is also sludge metal, and it's a very similar vocal delivery to this. But I mean, Troy Sanders is kind of incredible on this, so.
Yeah, I don't remember Cult of Luna very well. Let me just quickly compare and contrast in my mind here. I remember. What's a good Cult of Luna song?
I'm trying to think.
I would say I think I can probably already tell though what the difference is. It's just like Cult of Luna is just like, it's like one octave higher on everything.
Yeah, like the beginning
I mean?
of like Receiver to me, like, is very like
Receiver. Okay. Let me listen to this real quick. It's way different.
It's hilarious. To me, they sound identical. Couldn't even tell the difference.
Oh my god. No. Oh, not even close. It's like what's the Mastodon singer's name?
Troy Sanders.
Troy Sanders. He has like a depth to his voice.
That's so weird.
Like, is totally, whereas like the Cult of Luna singer, let me listen a little more here. Yeah, it's all treble. There's no bass. He's got a treble voice completely, whereas like
I don't hear that at all. That's incredible. I don't hear that at all. That's like I believe you. I just don't hear it.
It's like eat me, roll me, versus like eat me. You know what I mean?
I hear the difference when you're doing it. I don't hear the difference when the two of them.
Well, that's the difference I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah. It's like maybe, I mean, it might just literally be the production of the albums, right? It might not, I mean, the vocals might be the same. It's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't really separate, like, it all blends for me. It's one of the reasons I don't really listen to lyrics very much, right? It's like, the song is one thing coming in.
I wonder what you'd think of their later albums, because, on Remission, I think it's pretty much Troy the whole way through. Whereas on some of the later, on all of like the later albums, I think maybe even starting with Leviathan, but I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But everybody sings.
Oh, okay.
And like I think everybody sings, or at least three of them. Like the drummer sings, and then one of the other guys, and they all have like really distinctive voices. Like Bran, the drummer, like he mostly just sings. And then the other guy whose name escapes me for some reason, Brent Hines, like he's got a really weird distinctive voice.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to actually a good example of that. So if you listen to around 4:30 on this is off of Leviathan, their second album. This is off of I Am Ahab. So if you listen to around, it's like 4:30 on the album, you'll start to hear him come in and sing.
Ooh, yeah, that is distinctive. That's a word for it.
He just yells. Yeah,
that is just yelling. Yeah, that's oof. Ow.
But you know what?
Thank you.
Once you get used to it, it's like you can't live without it. It works.
Okay. Yeah. It's like,
I bounced off of it I keep saying that. I don't know why that's like my thing.
Yeah, that's the third time.
I don't know why I can't. That terminology just seems to like be coming up.
Do we need a bounce off of it jar?
Yeah, well, we can have a bounce off of it jar only if we can have definitely 100% jar for you.
Have I said that this time?
Not this time, but that is your catchphrase. If there was a catchphrase for you, that is your catchphrase.
I'll make a jar if you make one.
Oh, damn it. You called my bluff.
Mm-hmm. But no, I agree 100% there.
You're funny. You're so funny.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about this time though, around Old Nessie, where I kind of feel like the album fatigue sets in for me.
Interesting.
Because it's like, through there you have kind of a good through, then you kind of get a good through line, right? For the very start of the album, it's, it's heavy and it starts and it's going, it's crazy. And then you slow down for Old Nessie, right? And that's cool.
Yep.
And, it has its like big finale part. And it slows down, right? And it's cool. And it ends. It's like awesome. And then it feels like the album starts again with Burning Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, this is just gonna repeat.
Yeah, you just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, and it's like it's like Burning Man and Workhorse are so similar.
I could see that.
And then they do the same, like, slow start with Trainwreck again. I don't know. It's like I see what they're doing, kind of, but I don't know. I guess I don't like metal enough to like appreciate the subtle distinctions that are happening. I guess. I don't know.
I keep cramming metal down your throat. I know you don't like it, but
well, it's not that I don't like metal. Like, I do. I mean, like, this is a good album. I like listening to it. I listened to it 3 times. It's just that every time I listened to it, I liked it a little less.
Interesting.
You know, like the first time I was like, yeah, that was good. Like, I like that. And then I listened to it again and I was like, cool. Yep, that was good. And the third time it was like, oh man, wow, yeah, okay. Ooh. You know, and I gave it like a good week in between that second and third listen. So I don't know. It doesn't appreciate for me like other music does.
Fair enough.
In the same way. Metal, because it's, I don't know.
I guess, okay. So then, how about the song Trilobite specifically? Because that is really, by and large, why I recommended this album. Did you like that song?
Let me.
Like, one of my favorite parts of this song, right, is like around, hang on, let me get to it. I think it's like around 35:30. Yeah, so like 35:36. It's like this slow guitar riff with like all of this kind of like drums almost like across the riff. It's just like, you know, you could play this like straight, you know, like do do da da, but he's just like do 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 do, you know, like that kind of stuff. It's like it has such like a there's so much like there's like a lot of movement to it, and there's just like a vibe to it that I just like really, really, really like. And then when it picks back up, you know, then he goes back into like, you know, kind of just very straight metal, but then with like the big fast fills over the top of it, and it's just like, I don't know, something about it just really, really works for me.
Yeah. No. I think the slow parts are really great on this album for sure. They could probably use more of them, honestly. You'd probably
like Leviathan better than this. Leviathan, I think, does some of that stuff a little bit more, maybe, or maybe I'm misremembering Leviathan. I'd have to go through it again, but I feel like, I don't know, it's tricky because this album to me is a little bit of like a flash in the pan. You know, like even some of their later stuff, well, I like a lot. I always go back to this one because this is the sound that I've really been looking for.
No, the overall sound of this is very, very good, but it's so consistent. Like, they really nailed it to the point where, like, I guess it's just hard for me to separate out the songs.
No, I had the same problem while I was going back and listening to it. I like I said, I think it's Old Nessie, Trainwreck, and Trilobite are the 3 on the album where I'm like, yep, those are the songs that I always
exactly, yeah,
drag me back to the album. The rest of the songs are all good, but they're not what bring me to the album.
It's interesting actually, because you can actually, I'm looking at this, you can see like the YouTube click activity on videos now. And so, like, I can literally see just like, yep, big jump on Crusher Destroyer, then like another big jump at the end of Where Strides the Behemoth, and then like Workhorse is pretty flat, Old Nessie's pretty flat up until like the last third, Burning Man's flat, Trainwreck, again, big jump at the last third, Trampled Underhoof, flat, Trilobite, 2 big spikes of people clicking around, right where you were talking about, actually.
Yeah.
Right around that point, because
that's probably me.
A great moment, yeah. And then Mother Puncher actually, is the exact same actually shape as Trampled Underhoof, Burning Man, and Workhorse, and March of the Fire Ants. And then Elephant Man is the lowest activity.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, as the outro track.
I think you have lined up quite well with the popular opinion here, which is Trilobite.
I'm nothing if not a rube.
Old Nessie, and what was the other one? March of the Fire Ants, right?
Yeah. Old Nessie, Trainwreck, and Trilobite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, the 3. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, at least you liked it.
No,
that's better. That's better than I've gotten out of you on some of these metal albums. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll take it.
Yeah, I liked the like Eastern flair, right? Like, it's got that like off tuning, right? It doesn't feel like it's using a traditional like Western chord structure a lot of the times. Like, especially the part you're talking about, like the bends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean,
It reminds me of.
I guess I could see. I never really thought of it like that as Eastern, but like I guess I could see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of like what are they called? They're a new band. They're like a new-ish. Mastodon clearly inspired them to a degree. Lizard Wizard. There we go. Wow. There we go.
Oh, King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard?
Yeah. A lot of this album has that kind of like
microtonality feel to it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because they're not doing any microtonal stuff, but like I can see where you're coming, because I think they do a lot of like, you know, like those kind of like little bends and stuff. I mean, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, Old Nessie is really good. I did like that. March of the Fire Ants was definitely a song I've heard a million times. So that was
some nostalgia.
Very nostalgic, yeah. Like that, that It's like, yeah, I've heard that a billion. That's imprinted in my brain, even though I've like never listened to Mastodon on my own time.
Well, I've done it. I've made you listen to Mastodon on your own time.
You did, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I it was a good album. I enjoyed it.
Nice. All right. Shall we move on to Younger Years by Delta Sleep?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So this album to me, this came out after Ghost City, which is another album I recommended to you. And, Ghost City, I love. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Like the opening track to that is addictive. I think, as you've mentioned before, even you are super.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So when this album came out, I was like, oh, okay, so it's an EP, maybe this is going to be, I don't know what to expect out of this, but whatever. I got as addicted to this as I got to Ghost City. Like, I had this on repeat constantly for like months.
I mean, doesn't even say share some of the same songs or something?
There is some very similar motifs to this, like almost like it's got a little bit of like Ghost City B-sides. I could see that.
Yeah. But I'm actually I'm looking at the Ghost. I guess it doesn't share. I could have sworn I'd heard Constant Dreamer before, for instance.
Yeah, Constant Dreamer sounds a lot like one of their other songs. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there is like it feels like they wrote a similar song, I guess, in that regard. But this album to me makes me feel super nostalgic. That's what this is. Like every time I listen to it, I'm just like, oh man, like it takes me back to like an indescript time, but like a time before. I mean, obviously it's called Younger Years, right? So like, I mean, I'm reading something into it there, but like there is an actual feeling of nostalgia from listening to this album that I love. So, I basically I was like, if you like the Delta Sleep album, like the first one I made you listen to, I was just like, I can't imagine you're not going to like this. So I was just like, I just have to recommend it to you. So here it is.
Yeah. I mean, it is essentially, I just consider an extension of Ghost City, honestly.
That's probably not wrong.
Yeah. It doesn't even it sounds so much the same.
Mm-hmm.
That it's hard to even tell the difference. It's like, I mean, I literally did think Constant Dreamer was literally on Ghost City. That's how much this reminded me of it. I was like, oh yeah, Constant Dreamer. They just I guess they just kind of redid that song for this album, for this EP. That's cool.
They did not,
because I've obviously heard this before. I mean, this is on Ghost City, which I listened to. But yeah, no, I mean, I loved it. It was great. It was a great album. It reminds me also of a different time in my life. When I drove around listening to fucking Minus the Bear and stuff like that. So yeah, great. Enjoyed it.
Because you had made me listen to, what was it, The Suburbs by the Arcade Fire?
Yeah, that came later, but yeah.
Yeah. This to me is what I wanted The Suburbs to be. This album
remind
is
me
that.
Of it a lot. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. This because especially like younger. I mean the eponymous track, The Younger Years. Like, God, man, like that because there was a track in The Suburbs. I can't remember which one it was. But it was the one out of there that I really liked, that I had told you at the time, that stood out to me. And the Younger Years on here, like that, the eponymous track, reminds me so much of that. And it's just it's got that same feeling, that kind of just I want to go fucking, move out into the country,
yeah.
Like, I love that kind of,
This makes you want to move out into the country.
I don't know, man. It's just
no, I mean it's very, very valid. I'm just that's not what it does for me.
That track specifically.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's like, it seems so obvious. No other 6 a.m. start to the day, just like all the rest. It's that kind of just get out of the grind, stop doing the same thing every day. It's just I was like, oh God, it's like go live in a cabin in the woods,
Yeah. I mean, I would still get up at 6 a.m. though.
You would. Godspeed to you. I mean, I still get up what I consider to be pretty early, because I usually get up around 8:30, and I feel accomplished, and you're I log in and I see you're on Discord already. I'm just like, fuck.
It's I went to bed at 12:30 yesterday, which is the latest I've stayed up in years. And I still woke up at 6.
Jesus, Murphy.
I can't control it. Like, I didn't want to. I was like, I'm gonna sleep in. It's gonna be great. And it's just like I wake up and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm awake. What time is it? 6. Fuck. Goddamn. Okay, I guess I'm up.
I mean, it's fair, like, because without any prompting, I will wake up between 8 and 8:30 no matter what. Like, no matter when I went to sleep the night before. So I get it. Like, it's the same concept. It's just like you just have an earlier clock set, apparently.
And you know, if you stay in bed, you just get more tired. So it's
true. You just, if you don't get up when you're up, you won't get up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Back to the album. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I I liked all the songs. You know, it was a good album. I liked the length. Good length.
Yeah, I gave you a little break there.
Yeah. Enjoyed that. I guess, you know, standouts for sure. I mean, for me, Constant Dreamer is probably my favorite song on the album.
Really?
It's got like, it feels the most like dream pop.
I can see that. On Constant Dreamer, I love the halftime breakdown around 13:30.
Oh yes.
It's like, oh man, I mean, I'm a sucker for halftime breakdowns, so, you know, you throw one of those at me, I'm gonna love it, but like, yeah, it rules. What was the part you were saying you really liked?
Well, actually, just before that, his like screaming.
Oh yeah.
It's like, Constant Dreamer, take your. It's like, and then it's like they go almost like punky here.
Yes, yeah, he gets super punky on it.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know, like, does he do that the rest of the album? I don't feel like he really does.
No, he's pretty mellow on this one, because he was much more that on Ghost City.
Yes, that was my favorite part.
Yeah,
this is like the banger of the album. There we go.
I can see that.
I've brought back some of my lingo.
There we go. I love when you talk about the bangers. This
is the banger. This is the banger of the album for sure.
See, for me, what I like about this album is there's so many good vocal hooks. Like, what's like the one in Sofa Boy? Yeah, the weather won't change. Oh God, fucking like, when I got to that point in this album, I just kept going back to that song over and over again. I just love that line, and I love the way that like the drums kind of like punctuate it, where it's like, you know, it's like the weather won't change.
This gives me this. I guess one of the reasons I don't like some of these slower songs on the album is like these kind of like indie-ish slow songs always never fail to remind me of Belle and Sebastian.
Okay.
Which gives me like PTSD, because those songs, Belle and Sebastian is so sad as a, like, all their songs are so terrible and sad.
I've never listened to Belle and Sebastian, so I guess I don't know.
Wait a second. Let me just throw you. It's like it's not exactly like the same sound, but like it reminds me of that era that I existed in.
Yeah.
And like, this is what every one of the slow songs, it reminds me of this song in particular.
Hang on, let me listen a little bit. This is, you know, okay. Obviously, like, there's too much time has passed, like, for me to like listen to this, because it's like, to me, it sounds like a joke.
Yeah, I know. I can see that. Yeah. It's like, so melodramatic.
It's so melodramatic. Like, I can imagine, like, at the time listening to this, like, where it would work, but like listening to this right now at this very moment, at the age of like fucking 34, no, I'm just like, this sounds so like, it sounds really melodramatic, like to the point where I can't take it seriously.
And so even though Delta Sleep sounds very different, obviously, especially now listening again to Belle and Sebastian for the first time in many, many years.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking. What I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's just like, sometimes you like, it's a sense memory. It's like you experience something that has not really anything to do with the thing that you're remembering, but it reminds you of something else. And that's what this is doing. Yeah.
And honestly, now that I've gone back and listened to Belle and Sebastian again, and now I'm re-listening to this, it doesn't remind me as badly.
Well, yeah, because as soon as you see that, like, it's like, you know, it's like if you taste a food, you're like, oh, this is just like something I tasted years ago, and then you go and actually are somehow manage to taste that thing. You're like, these don't taste anything similar at all. Like,
at all. Yeah.
It's like, this is completely. It's your brain playing fucking tricks on you. But like, you know, I get it.
Yeah, but you're right. The vocal hooks though in this
on point
are amazing. Yeah. So good.
I mean, like, this makes, like, you know, I said nostalgia. It is this. It's like there's like a longing to this album that I feel. You know, it's like I listen to this, I'm just like, oh man, like I'm feeling something. You know, that like there's like a time past that I want to get back to, which I guess is the definition of nostalgia. So
yes, maybe exactly. Yeah, you gotten affected exactly the way they wanted you to.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Great. They did it.
Yeah, they did it.
So yeah, well, okay, good. I'm glad. I'm 2 for 2 on Delta Sleep, so I'll probably have to recommend Spring Island at some point because that's their newest album.
Yeah, I'm literally staring at it right now.
It rules. I mean, it's great. Like, you know, even if I don't remember to recommend it to you, like I'm sure you'll probably listen to it because it's really, really good. The Detail in particular is a tremendous song, and they released a music video for it that like mimics like one of those like really old like, you know, Windows screensavers with like the thing bouncing around. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then cool. You know how like in the Windows screensaver, like it always bounces around, but it never quite hits the corner?
Yeah.
In the climax to the song, the little thing hits the corner perfectly.
Nice.
They know what's up. They know what we all wanted. Cool.
Yeah. So
this was
in
this
the
was
air,
a short
Sofa
one.
Boy, you know.
So Constant Dreamer was your favorite.
Constant Dreamer, my favorite for sure. Three Ghosts is not really like a song.
I like it. I mean, it's obviously more of a song than Martin Martini.
It's you know, yeah, it is. And you're right, it is. It is way more of a song. It's a transition song, I guess.
It is a transition song. For me, I mean, honestly, it's all of them.
It's nice.
But like, I love Younger Years and I love Sofa Boy because they, to me, have the best hooks. You know, the must get off this train seems so obvious. Like, love that hook, and I love the, you know, the weather won't change, will you, maybe? Like, I love that. Like, those two vocal hooks for me are like, thank you for making this. I love it.
Yeah, Younger Years is interesting. It feels very much like two different songs. Maybe my attention span is just too short because, you know, it does like that transition. It's like the beginning is like nice and bouncy and good, and then it kind of slows down a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's long as fuck. I mean, it's like an 8-minute song.
Yeah. Well, exactly, right? Yeah, and around like 240, 250, right? It starts to like slowly speed up.
Yeah, and
then at 21, it's like going full speed again.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly like a little bit of an epic. I me's what the whole album is based around. It's like this feeling of, you know, I shouldn't continue participating in the daily grind, you know? Like that's what it's about. That is what it's about. Spoiler alert, since I know you don't listen to the lyrics.
The lyrics are very nice. I like them.
Yeah. Didn't listen to them, but they are nice.
Yeah. I mean, in particular, you know, I feel like, you know, this guy sacrifices clarity of lyric for his beautiful vocals.
Yeah.
Because I'll be completely honest, it doesn't even sound like English to me. It's like he just said quiet, but he said it as quiet. Essentially, to me, that's what it sounds like. So it's like his voice is an instrument. Like, are there even words happening here?
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, you at the best of times don't really listen to lyrics. I'm a lyric listener, especially since in fairness, I've listened to this album hundreds of times. So
I would just need to listen to it a lot more.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I have the benefit of because I like these albums enough. I just plow through them again and again and again. I'm like start again, do it one more time. So
it's like he's singing in legato almost.
He's got that very he slurs his words a lot. Singing legato is a very good way to describe it.
Like, is he okay? Like, has someone checked on him medically? Like,
yeah, it turns out he's got these.
It's like
Steven, it's not a medical condition. He's just British.
Yeah, he doesn't like enunciate anything. It's just he's mush mouth. He's constant mush mouth.
He's from Brighton. It's not his fault.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgive him.
Okay, cool. So I'm 2 for 2 on Delta Sleep. So you clearly like this band. I will say, I don't think you need to go further back than Ghost City. I've listened to some of their earlier stuff, and I'm not as in love with it. You actually, you might. I don't know. You might actually like it more because it's a little bit more screamy.
Okay, yeah.
So actually, I don't know. You might like it more, but you know, I like I said, I'll probably recommend Spring Island at some point. I wasn't in love with it the first go around of it, but in subsequent listens, I have found that I actually do adore it. I needed a little bit more time with it than I needed with Ghost City and Younger Years.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out next time.
All right. Let's do this mixtape.
Let's do it.
Okay. I believe the last time that we did this, I did a little bit of a lightning round before we started. Let me try and do that again, but I'm gonna give you you a little differently this time. So The last time that I did this, I gave you like a thumbs up, thumbs down, and I'm not gonna do that this time. Let me give you I would listen to this again, I would not listen to this again. Because I think that's gonna more accurately reflect my feelings about these tracks.
Sure. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Moderns, yes. You, yes. World Away, yes. Other Side of Paradise, no. Sad Gucci, Arizona, Lean Bucket Hat, no. Funk Drift, no. Blacklist, maybe. That's a maybe. Ascens, yes. Suffer With Me, yes. I'm God, yes. Close Eyes, yes. She Swallowed Burning Coals, yes. When I Get There, yes. Cradles, no. I don't know how to pronounce that. The penultimate track,
do I.
No. Hildegard, O Successores, no.
Okay.
Okay, now we're grounded.
Cool.
Let's talk.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start out with Matter by Moderns.
Yes.
You didn't need to do the rest of the mixtape. This could have been it. Yeah. This could have been the whole mixtape. And I could have talked for an hour on why I love this track.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have like 68 million views or whatever for nothing.
Dude, fuck, man.
Yeah.
This is so good. Like, I started listening to this, and like immediately I was just like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yes, this rules. Okay.
Oh, wait a second. It actually doesn't have that many views at all. Wait,
it has 177,000 views.
I thought it had way more than that. I thought this was a super popular. Oh, I'm thinking of Glass Animals. That's what.
Yeah.
But yes, no, this song is amazing.
Oh my God, dude. I'm obsessed with this song. Like, it was actually a huge mistake on your part to put this right at the beginning, because I very rarely got past this song. I would just keep going back to it.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's great though. I mean, this is an amazing song.
Can I nerd out a little bit about this? Do you mind?
Go for it.
Okay. So what this is doing, right, is because Moderns is described as a synth pop band, which I think is correct, but I think is underselling what's happening here. Because like from the instrumental portion, right? This is very clearly drawing on like 80s. I mean, I know that like the Prime Thanatos, the person that you linked for this, like that's somebody else, that's not them. But I even their own visuals very heavily draw on like vaporwave and synthwave and all that stuff. So I mean, like they know what they're doing, right? Like they're obviously drawing on like 80s nostalgia for like the musical portion of this, right? But synth pop as a genre, like at the time, like that it came about, right? Like in the I guess probably maybe late 70s. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with synth pop, but like I know synth pop bands like that song Cars by Gary Newman, right?
Yeah, you're right. No, 70s.
Yeah, that's synth pop, right? It's pop music with heavy synthesized elements, and that was
Kraftwerk.
Sure. I mean, Kraftwerk was like maybe a little bit more. Was Kraftwerk a little bit more techno than synth pop?
They're like primordial.
Yeah. I mean, Kraftwerk was way ahead of its. It's hard to talk about Kraftwerk because, like, from everything that I understand, they were insanely ahead of their time on everything. But, when you think of synth pop in the 80s, like, I mean, it was pop music with the synthesizers, and like that made sense at the time because it was the styles and whatever of the time. But this is doing something so fucking cool because it steals all of like the elements of 80s synth pop, but the vocals are super fucking modern pop. Like, yeah, they're relying really heavily on you know that you ever heard of the term Scotch snaps?
Nope.
Okay, so Scotch snaps is a rhythm that's like, I think it's existed for like fucking forever. I mean, like it's not like it's anything new, but it's like a accented short with a long note, right? And it's, if you listen to most like modern pop music, and when I'm saying modern, I mean stuff that like in the last like 10 years or so, like, sure, it uses just fucking a ton. And so like, it's like da-da, 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 da-da. That sound, that's Scotch snaps. Okay. It comes from like, I think it's Scottish, I think is what it comes from. But so her vocals on this, she don't even da, 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 da,
oh wow, yeah, you're right. I do love that. I never knew it was called Scotch snaps.
It's called Scotch snaps. It's taking the synth portion from the 80s and then marrying it to modern vocal delivery and production with modern like vocal rhythms and like shit, man. God, Jesus Christ, this rules. Like, this fucking rules. That's all I can say. This rules. I went back and listened to a ton of their stuff because it's just like, this is so good. It's so fucking good.
Is the rest of their stuff good? I never listened to the rest of their stuff, I don't think.
The rest of their stuff is good. It's not all exactly like this, but it's all good. It's real good, man. It's like, oh, shit. So... Yeah. Thank you. This is
I knew
great.
This was one of the strongest contenders on the album, so I'm very glad you like it so much.
Yeah, you were correct. This is my note here says immediate headbangs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was obsessed with this. Yeah.
This is like the sound of this song is like, this is one of my favorite sounds.
It's a good sound.
Yeah. Electronic with like soft, especially female vocals, like just a wonderful combination.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. I had a note that I forgot to mention. Because we always talk about the intro to Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Standalone Complex.
Yes.
I found the genre of music.
Oh.
So, hang on. It's called, drum roll please, liquid drum and bass.
Oh, liquid drum and bass. I feel like I've heard that before.
If you particularly the artist Monroe with 2 R's, Monrroe, he uses he has a lot of like featuring some female vocalist, and it's the thing. That's the thing.
Okay.
It's liquid drum and bass. So the thing that we've been looking for, it was liquid drum and bass the whole time. Just wanted to let you know.
Hell yeah. Yep, that's that.
That's what it is.
Fuck yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, cool.
Now
awesome.
You know. Okay, cool. So yes, moderns, holy shit, fuck, god damn it, so good.
Well, great. Oh, I have so many other bands that sound like that.
Okay, cool. I want to listen to them all.
Yeah. My fucking playlists are full of that sound, so I got you.
Excellent. So You by Gold Panda.
And by the way, I consider like this, You, and World Away to be like kind of interrelated. Okay. As well, just like in terms of their sound.
I can see that.
They're all kind of these like, glitchy-ish, like very staccato electronica.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. So, do you know what a side chain is?
Nope.
Okay.
Go ahead and drop that knowledge on me.
I think that you like side chaining. So I made this note on several of the tracks, and I don't know if technically they're actually specifically side chaining, but it sounds very similar to a side chain. It's basically ducking the volume of something at the point of something else happening is what a side chain is.
See, I would have called this mixtape the Blown Out Bass album. And I think it's just side chaining is what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, it's where the bass, because it's usually the kick drum is what you usually side chain. See, what you usually do is because like if you think about it, the bass guitar or the bass synth or the bass whatever sound is usually in a similar or even the same frequency space as the kick drum, right? Like they're both bass instruments. Yes. So in order to hear the kick drum properly, or to punctuate it more, oftentimes producers will do what's called a side chain, whereas like it'll take the signal from the kick drum and feed it into the volume control of the bass instrument so that whenever the kick drum activates, it ducks out or brings down the volume of the bass instrument. And that's where you get that kind of pumping sound, like a boom, bum, bum, that like where the bass kind of cuts out. And that's a side chain.
Yes.
I don't know if everything that I'm going to talk about in all of these different songs has specifically a side chain, or if it's just volume ducking or just volume fuckery, but like that's what you like. You like that a lot.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this album. Doing this mixtape, I was like, yes, this is what I like.
Yes, you like the volume
very much
fuckery.
So. Yeah, which talking about this next song is like, that's what it is.
Yeah, although it is. Although I'm gonna make that argument more for World Away, whereas this, to me, this is ear candy. The song,
yeah,
like there's so much little like treble details just kind of like scattered throughout. Like I'm about to come up to one, I think, in just a second here. I'm around 45 seconds. Yeah, there's like almost like a jangling keys sound going on around 50 seconds.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
And like, oh god, where is it? It's like
a squelching sound.
116. There's like a little like, and I love this use of a vocal sample. Like
yes.
I'm trying to do more of this in my music now because I've realized that I love it. It's like this Like,
oh yeah, the 116 moment is great.
Yeah, like this octave up, or like maybe several octaves up vocal sample that they're kind of like playing around on the keyboard with, like triggering it a bunch of times, triggering another thing. Like, God, it's like,
well, this is me trying to, this is how I hear lyrics all the time.
I believe that. I'm willing to take that at face value.
It's like what you're hearing here, the way they're using you as like an instrument. Is like, that's just essentially how I treat all lyrics. And
I love that. Like, it's great. Yeah. It's so like, this song in particular is very inspiring in like how they're using like sound and stuff like that, and how they're using samples. Like, I really, really like that.
Yeah, I was very impressed when YouTube recommended this to me. It was like, okay, good job.
Yeah, thanks, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube. I'll take it. Very glad. Like this one.
Yes. Okay. So then, Casbro, World Away.
Yeah. Now this is I thought the weakest of the three like intro electronica tracks I did, to me.
It's interesting. Okay, so I like this for how heavy the side chain is. Mm-hmm. Like because it starts out, like up to at 9 seconds. Once the bass drum comes in, you can hear the side chain.
Yes.
Because it's like as soon as the bass drum comes in, you can hear that it's pulling away the other frequencies, and it's in this case actually he's almost ducking everything. He's not just ducking ducking the whole track in favor of the bass drum, which is such a cool sound.
This is a subtle example of what's coming up.
Oh yeah,
in Funk Drift, to me at least. Yeah, it's just like letting the bass sort of like take over.
So what I really like is around 107 when he goes like like normally a side chain is quick, right? Normally a side chain is like it ducks the track for a second and then it comes right back in. It's not obviously it's not a rule. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's electronic music.
Yeah, of course.
But what he's doing here on this is he's allowing the side chain.
He's chaining side chains.
Well, what he's doing is like instead of the side chain just going it being like a very quick increase, once the kick drum comes in, he's letting the side chain take an extra long time to build back up to full volume.
Yes.
And it fucking sounds great. Holy shit. Like, once it got to that point in the... like, so I hear what you're saying about, like, oh, this might have been one of the weaker ones of the three. But when it got to that point, I was like, oh, no, I like that a lot. I love this, like, rising of...
Yeah, no, it's great. It's just, like, that's its thing.
Yes.
Like, that's why this song is good, is because, like, he did that. And it is good, though.
Yeah. So, yes. This was where I was starting to like be like, okay, wait a second.
Yeah,
I think Steven likes side chaining.
Yes.
I think that's
it's good to know what it's called.
That is what it's called. Okay, so these first three tracks. So yes, you had mentioned while we were taking a quick break. You had mentioned that these three each kind of section of three is kind of in some ways a set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so I can see that these three are very strong, like electronic tracks. Moderns is obviously the standout for me of the three. Matter by Moderns. But like they're all using, like vocals in a really like nice way. Like even World Away, like that kind of like sample or whatever.
No, yes.
Sounds great.
Use of sampled vocals, yes.
Yeah. Whereas, like, obviously Matter is sung vocals. Samples are sung too. You know what I mean, people. It's just like...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
like Matter is a song, whereas the other two are using samples to make a song. But, I like them all for different reasons. I love Matter, but I like them all for different reasons, and I like them all quite a bit. So, like, the first three songs in the album were hugely strong. I was like, fuck yeah, all right, we're doing it.
And then, I pull the rug out from under you.
And then you pull the rug out from under you go to Other Side of Paradise.
Yep.
Okay. So here's what happened with Other Side of Paradise. Let me take you through my process. Mm-hmm. So it came in, and the first thing I hear is, huh, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of annoying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you see where this is going. And I was like, okay, cool. But, like, it'll probably, like, maybe it'll just be, like, a little bit. It was the whole fucking song.
Yeah, of course.
God damn it. Like, here's the thing. Other than that, I actually like this track.
Yeah.
But I hate that. I hate it. It's really annoying. I don't like the woof sound. I don't like the woof sound at all. And And because I don't like the woof sound, the entire track is based around it, and therefore I can't like the track. Like, all it reminds... And here's the thing, right? I bet you love the woof sound.
I honestly, like, it didn't really stick out to me until you mentioned it.
What?
It's like, I guess I like it, yeah.
What? It
like,
doesn't stick... Steve, it's the whole song! They woof every, like... 6 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But like it fades into the background very quickly.
It does not fade into the background.
Honestly, for me, like after the initial hook, like
oh my god, it doesn't fade into the
it just becomes like part of the drums to me.
God damn it.
So I don't really hear it as like a separate. I mean, now that you've said it, it like sticks out.
All I can think of, like I heard that, and the first thing I was just like, oh god, it's like the same sound effect as Who Let the Dogs Out. And then that was it. It was ruined from that point on.
You don't like Who Let the Dogs Out?
I don't like... No, it's a terrible song.
I don't know. I haven't listened to it forever. But yeah, I mean, this is, you know... You always seem to pick out the songs that I put on there that are like what I consider to be like good, popular, mainstream music, essentially. It's like, that's what this is, right? This is like...
And then I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate it. And it's just like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I just don't... I guess I just don't like... It's funny, too, because like... So I was just like, okay, so obviously that's not going to be on every single track of the album. The first track on that album of How to Be a Human Being...
Yeah, Life Itself.
Rules. I wish you'd put that on.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, like, it's okay. So backing up.
I didn't know you were going to hate the hoof sound.
I hated it.
If
oh my God, it made me so annoyed.
If I had known you were going to hate the hoof sound, I mean, I maybe still would have put the song on.
I know, just to annoy me.
I would have known you were not going to like it.
Because, I mean, there's some really clever stuff. Like, for instance, I love the, like, because I'm a sucker for vocal hooks. And, like, the, I'm going to be a hoop phenomenon. I'm going to be Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, that's fucking, like, like, how are you going to rhyme Hakeem Olajuwon? Come on. But he
it's
just
a great song.
It's great, okay?
And then I also felt like this would be a good song to prepare you for what was coming after it.
Okay.
But, you know, clearly that soured.
Yeah, well, and I also found that, like, the song had a lot of really nice call-in response.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it is a track that if you, like, literally when because, like, sometimes I think this song in my head, you know, I'm just like, oh, like, yeah. And I just, like, in my head, delete the woofs.
Yeah. It's so catchy.
Yeah. If not for the woofs, which I hate. So yeah, this was a song that was just like, it lived and died on the woof. And for me, it died on the woof. That's going to be the title of this of this podcast. Died on the woof.
Wait a second. The other side of
Paradise
with no woofs. Oh, come on, YouTube! Really, you're gonna fail me here? No one's done that
because people love the woof.
I'll get on that for you, and we'll fix that.
People love the woofs.
I mean, yeah,
I bet people love the woofs.
I do. I like the woofs.
Yeah, and like here's the thing. Like I could see people love because I mean, if it was another sound, it probably would have worked for me, but the woofs just remind me of fucking Who Let the Dogs Out. I'm just like, this is cringe. This is just cringe to me now.
Ultimately, though, this is one of those songs. This song I consider similar to like how I felt about Mastodon, where like it does not. I feel like the more I listen to it, the less I like this song. Ultimately.
Interesting.
I don't know why though. It's some songs that's how it is. Some songs that don't fade for me. I don't know.
So then we go on to Sad Gucci Arizona Lean Bucket Hat.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
Can I ask? So this is what I struggle with. Is this song a joke?
I have no. I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like here's the thing.
Maybe a little bit.
Like I feel like we're off to a bad start. If a song to me, I'm like, is this a parody? Like, is this supposed to be a joke? Because like he mentions codeine rap in there, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I understand this. I was like, is this like a takedown of codeine rap, or is this just codeine rap? Like, I don't know, and that's what I'm struggling with.
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know
either. It might
either.
be satire. It might not be.
I don't know if it's a satire. I here's the thing.
I love it.
I don't hate it.
In my bucket hat.
It's just
for the lean, all in my bucket hat.
It's fine. Like I can see why you like it. It's funny because when it was starting, I thought I was gonna like it more because I thought it was going somewhere else for some reason. Yeah. And then it didn't go the way I want because like it has like a weird almost like again 80s-ish vibe. Maybe I don't know why, but like
I don't know. Maybe
it's something about like the intro chords. Not 80s. 80s is the wrong word, but like it's like I thought it was going to be like a more of like a synthy thing to it than it ended up being.
It's got a very iconic sound.
Yeah, I mean like I said, I don't hate it. it's not that I don't like it. And I can see why somebody would like it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there is something to get, but if there is, I don't get it. I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine. For instance, like, the reason I put this song on here is because, this is like a song that got played a lot, around in my friend group for like many years.
Okay.
And it's just part of my like, upbringing almost. It's like, yeah, Saguchi Arizona Lean Bucket Hat.
Saguchi Arizona Lean Bucket Hat.
It's right up there with like Crotch Dusters. It's like weird bands that like exist. And then like, but they're also like, they might be a joke, but they're also just like genuinely good. So it doesn't matter.
I guess here's where it lost me.
Sure.
Is I feel like it feels like something I would hear like in some type of like slow motion, like walking up to the car scene in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got it in one. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, perfect. It's just like, and so like for me, it's just like it just sounds like 100 things that I've heard before in various pieces of like popular media. Like as a background track.
I've never heard anything like Sad Gucci Arizona Lean Bucket Hat.
I mean, not specifically Sad Gucci Arizona Lean Bucket, but like I mean, like that's partially what makes me like wonder if it's a joke because it's such nonsense. It's like it sounds like it's almost doing something. It sounds like there's a bit that I'm not in on, is what it feels like. But
yeah, I mean that might be true.
I don't know, but I've
never done any research into the band Weather Control or what they're about.
I guess what my point is like it's not that it's bad. It's just that it doesn't sound like Moderns sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. You sound super unique. World Away sounds super unique. I've heard a million songs I feel like that sounds like The Other Side of Paradise. Yeah. The Other Side of Paradise is good other than the Woof.
Sure.
Sad Gucci Arizona Lean Bucket Hat sounds like something that I have heard in like fucking like, movies and TV shows.
The song does literally end with aesthetics. So that might be intentional, I think.
It might be. Aesthetics.
But I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So aesthetics. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like a meh track to me. It was like
I just wanted to infect your brain with the knowledge more so than anything.
I will tell you. I mean, it was a bit of an earworm. Like I would find myself sitting there being like Sad Gucci Arizona Lean Bucket. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just an earworm. That's all.
Yeah, it's an earworm.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Funk Drift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't need this in my life. It's amusing. Yeah. This reminds me so much of. It reminds me of that sushi track that you included.
Yes. Well, so this was me learning what the genre is, much like you learned what liquid drum and bass is.
Yeah.
This is me learning what like this style of music is called, which is funk.
Funk. Okay.
Yeah, and it's funk, and so it's just like, okay, this is what this is. Like I figured it out finally. Like it's just this, and that's all.
Yep. It exists.
It's the the blasted out bass. It's like trap, but like you're in someone's like car and they've like installed their stereo system
wrong,
quote unquote wrong, and their bass is blasting out everything else.
Yeah,
and you're drifting.
It is vibes for sure. It's not necessarily vibes I want, but it's vibes.
It's Zoomer music. I don't know.
It's
like,
you know what? That's perfect. It's Zoomer music.
It's Zoomer music. And so like I'm getting old. I'm not hip anymore. But like at the very least, I can like
just
keep up with something.
I just feel like I need like a neck tattoo to listen to this.
Yeah, that's okay. We're doing a podcast.
We are doing a podcast.
Don't worry about being cool.
We've never been
cool.
We're
like the most uncool people ever.
I've never been cool, and I've only gotten less cool from there.
Yeah, exactly. So we can just listen to Funk Drift.
Funk Drift. So yeah, it was fine. I don't necessarily need it in my life.
I didn't think you were gonna like Sad Gucci or Funk Drift, so that doesn't surprise me.
Okay. So I mean, so you're you've only missed one so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
My intention with some of these songs is just to like say, hey, by the way,
this exists.
I also listen to this. Yeah.
No, that's fine. I actually was curious where you thought I was going to land on these. Okay, so you're so.
I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised you liked Casbo actually as well. I thought that was the weakest one. You might like not like it, but I'm glad you liked it as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the first three tracks ruled. I was very happy with those. So the Blacklist.
Yes.
By Cap Bambino. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. This is the one that I'm having the most trouble pinning down.
Yeah, I agree. It's barely a song, too. It feels like. It feels like the intro to something.
Oh my God. Okay, you have my note. To me, this sounds like the intro to like some type of an anime.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Wow, yeah, that's a really, wow.
Especially with the anime girl yelling, like, hey, yeah. It's like that.
This would...
I could just imagine there's some fucking like some anime that this is the intro to.
This also does make me. I'm glad you mentioned anime, because the reason I put the song on there is because this is just it's Melt Banana vocals.
Yeah,
and you don't get an opportunity to like hear Melt Banana vocals not done by Melt Banana.
Have I ever told you I've seen Melt Banana live?
Wait, you must have, but that's amazing. I'd forgotten. That's fucking mind-blowing.
I seen Melt Banana live.
That's so awesome.
They were the best.
Yeah, of course they are.
Oh my God. I mean, so okay. I just have to take a small tangent here because I seen Melt Banana live. I need to explain. Okay, she controls the entire thing with like a GameCube controller or something.
That's amazing.
It's so, oh God. I mean, like it's exactly. It's just like it's like a guy on a keyboard and then her controlling a bunch of shit with a fucking game controller, and then just. It's like, and she's just like freaking out and like waving back and forth and head banging, and I'm just like. This is the best. This is like
true musicianship.
I mean, it's pure. Like it's like Beethoven, Mozart, Melt Banana.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100%. So that's why this is on there, because Melt Banana is great. Sounds kind of like it.
I saw Melt Banana with Melvins and
that makes sense.
Which I need to actually recommend a Melvins album to you. That's on the list.
Yeah, Melvins is great. No, I love Melvins.
Oh, you've listened to Melvins now.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah.
Oh,
great.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, because I did tell you to listen to Melvins, and you did listen to Melvins. Okay.
Yeah.
But what's the other band that I listened to? Is it Grindcore? They invented it. Who is?
Oh God. Okay, Grindcore. Okay, cool.
Is it Grindcore or is it? What is the name of the band? Oh God. They're hugely Napalm Death.
Oh, Napalm Death. I am familiar with them, but I don't think I've listened to them in
they are not
20 years.
Yeah, they are grindcore. They basically invented grindcore, or at least are like the progenitors of it. Okay, so I saw Melt Banana, Melvins, and Napalm Death, which was the loudest concert that I've ever been to in my entire life.
Nice.
It was the concert that made me decide to start bringing earplugs to concerts because I was just damaging my ears.
You should do that anyway.
I should have been doing that anyway. I was damaging my hearing. It was a bad time. I actually was worried I lost my hearing because after that concert, my ears were ringing for 3 days straight, and that was not okay. And I was very worried that I had. I mean, it was a problem.
You did do permanent damage.
I did do permanent damage to my hearing. That was a problem. I never should have done that. But we only listened to one song by Napalm Death because that was enough. It was already getting late, and they're not, to me, an interesting band. Like, all they do, like, they're known for super short songs. They have a song that is 1.316 seconds long.
Oh, it's that band.
Yeah, You Suffer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not my scene, but I get it. But so Melt Banana, ear-piercingly loud. Napalm Death. Of course. Sorry, not Melvins, ear-piercingly loud. Yeah. Napalm Death, also ear-piercingly loud. That was enough. But yeah, Melvins live, holy fucking shit, dude. They rule live.
Yes.
But
no surprise.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, we'll have to. Which Melvins album did you listen to? Houdini? Because I think that's on my list to recommend to you. So if you've already listened to it, I might still do it anyway because I want to listen to it again. But
I didn't listen to an album.
Okay, you just listen to random songs by them.
I listened to some songs. Yeah.
I had a feeling you would like them. They're up there.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're great. Yeah.
So yeah, Blacklist. I don't know. I don't have strong feelings about this one really at all. It's just kind of like I vaguely like it, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's barely a song, and it's really on there just because it's actually Blacklist and Essence are both on there for the same reason, which is just there's a unique vocal performance, and whenever I find a particular sound that I like again, I try and remember that. To
me, they couldn't be more different.
Well, no, I'm saying they both of those songs, their vocal performance sounds like something else.
Oh, okay, got it.
Not that those two sound similar.
Oh, okay. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. Blacklist sounds like Melt Banana. Essence sounds like that one Amosurs song.
So yeah, I mean, I guess Essence by White Ring.
Yeah.
So I guess I love Witch House.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, No surprise. Like, cause you what was that? It was Sidewalks and something.
Sidewalks and Skeletons.
Sidewalks and Skeletons. I mean, this is more of that.
Yes.
Fuck, I love it. It rules.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It's so good. Like, it's such like, I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess I do know what it is. It's like
aesthetics.
It's aesthetics.
Yeah, see, this is how Sad Gucci Arizona Bucket Hat infects you. It's
just like, because it's so, and again, you know, it's just like a more laid back version to me of the Birthday Massacre, but like,
yeah,
that's to me what it sounds like. I can't unhear that, but Jesus, man, like, it's just like, you know, if it were not for Matter and another song that we'll come to, like, this could have been the album for me.
Yeah. No, this song is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about that concept of like the like filling all the like different like frequencies.
Yes.
And it's like this does that, and then like it also fills all the little gaps that you leave usually.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of music that I feel like I need to be dressed in all black and like, you know, like eyeliner, and then like just stand paint at a concert and like lean my head down and just kind of like mosey back and forth while like speakers blast this at the fullest of possible volumes.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. I really enjoy it. So yeah.
That
ruled. So
yeah, wonderful.
So then we have Suffer With Me.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that stood out to me with this one, this is really, really, really well mixed.
Yes.
Like,
yes, it is.
This is like everything sounds crisp, you know, like nothing sounds like it's washed out or whatever. It's just like,
yeah, thank you. That's such a good way to put it. It has such a weird sound. I didn't know how to say it, but yes, it's all crisp.
Like even the parts, like I'm listening right now, like even around like, you know, 30 seconds where like you have these like really hard hitting, like kick drums that are like distorted. Like,
yes,
they're distorted, but they don't sound distorted. They just sound like they have distortion on them.
Yes. This to me was like the like mastered and refined version of what like funk drift and like was trying to do with the blowout bass.
Yeah. It's like if you did that but mixed it well.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. On purpose.
I'm trying to, okay, so then there's a part I think around 1 minute 50.
Oh, 150. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Let me get to that really quick. I'm looking at my notes here. I love that's like that synth that's around there, like
yes.
It's like a saw, like a like I love that.
Yeah, what at 151, yeah.
I will say, so I really like this song up to this point. I think it slightly overstays its welcome. Like at a certain point, I'm just kind of like, okay, I do get it.
Yes, I wish it kept getting faster.
Yeah, like it feels like, yeah, once you hit that initial buildup around 150, it's just kind of
exactly
what it is for the rest of the time.
Yes, yeah. They needed to go either shorter or a little bit like more.
Yeah.
Although I do love the like laugh at the end.
Yes.
Around 240. That's just fun.
Yeah, I feel
it doesn't feel out of place, which is interesting.
I feel like they could have cut out 30 seconds in the middle of it there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Agree. But I do, I love the, like, it almost feels like the Starstorm from Earthbound, the, like.
I will tell you, so I have a list of things to work on once I get back into music stuff. And I found a YouTube video where they have all of the sounds of all of the PSIs.
Oh my God, nice.
I want to go through and sample all of those and make a track with it.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, even though I haven't been making music, you know, I have been in the background downloading a couple things that I feel like I'm going to need when I start getting back into it. One of the things that I downloaded was a better sampling program that does more of the things that I was looking for it to do, because I wanted, especially, and listening to this is just solidified that that's what I need to do, of like getting some more like cool sample stuff, because it's like there's just so much fucking cool shit you can do with good samples. And speaking of that, I'm God by Clams Casino.
Yes, good. Okay, yeah, you're hitting all the right notes.
Yeah, so, I mean, first of all, Imogen Heap, like, how can you not sample her vocals on things? She rules. She's the best. Like, Frau, and, like, any of her things are just, like, so cool. But, like, this song, like, on the list of songs on this album that on your mixtape that are amazing, so like Moderns is at the top. This is close. I listened to this a lot.
Yeah.
This is
my favorite song on the mixtape for sure.
This, if not for Moderns, this would have been, and if not for those two, it would have been Essence. But like, God, this rules. Holy shit! Like, it's a perfect use of samples. Like, it's a perfect use of it. Like, it's just like, because it sounds so otherworldly. Because it's like, I mean, you wouldn't sing something like this because it's like that start and stopness to it that you don't really normally have in a vocal, but like it works so perfectly. And like,
and the repetition of like, it's almost like it's like echoing back on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very impressive effect. This song always makes me a little emotional for sure. It hits something deep.
I love at 121 where the hi-hats come in.
Yes. No, yeah.
Like little like trap hats going on. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this people describe this song as being like heavily nostalgic, and I can totally see that. Like,
yes,
I don't necessarily know if I get that same feeling from it, but I could see why I would. But so I'm curious though. Have you? Because I mean, this was released. I did a little bit of research onto this, and apparently this was released like later as an instrument, quote unquote instrumental.
Yeah.
Because there was like, this was originally the backing track for like a rap, right? Because what's the person?
Clams Casino?
Well, no, not Clams Casino, but like the Clams Casino. It's Lil B. Have you actually listened to the Lil B, like the original, the Lil B I'm God rap?
No. Oh, okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Never knew that.
So, apparently, Cloud Rap, as in SoundCloud, was and is, I guess, a thing.
Yes.
And he was apparently one of the major players in it, Lil B and Clams Casino. I mean, no disrespect to Mr. B, but I wonder how much of that was really him and how much of that was really Clams Casino. Because I listened to that, I was curious. I was just like, well, okay. I listened to that rap that he did over this song, and I'm just like, and people liked that? They thought that was good?
Yeah, sometimes the backing track is too good.
Like, I thought that sounded horrible. And maybe I just don't have an ear for it, but like, I was just like...
No, there's another, Cadence Weapon is like a Canadian hip-hop artist that I like a lot. Mm. But he does this one song where he like raps over Silent Hill, like one of the violin tracks from Silent Hill. And it's just like, I'm sorry, but like the violin track is so much better than whatever you're saying. Like, you're just kind of ruining it.
Yeah. That's
like,
how
I definitely like, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I agree. That's how I feel as well about this.
Yeah, I was just like,
just from the short amount.
I was just like, I listened. I'm like, how? I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe his other stuff is good, but like it feels like it just feels like it doesn't match up. Like I could imagine a world where you could rap something over this that would sound good. And
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just not that.
And that wasn't it.
Yeah, he's competing with it too much.
He's competing with it. Yeah. So. Yeah. Long story short, because when we talked about Jay Dilla, right? I talked a little bit about how it almost feels like a little bit of a liminal space where it's like it doesn't feel like it obviously doesn't feel like the tracks are complete because they weren't complete. They were meant to be rapped over. This doesn't feel that way. This feels like a complete track.
Yeah, I always wondered why this was called an instrumental. That makes sense. Yeah, this never seemed like it was incomplete.
Yeah, this like maybe like it's like, hey, Clams Casino, maybe like you didn't really leave room for anybody to rap over this because you already made a track that was too good.
Yeah.
And actually, have you listened to the original Imogen Heap song?
Nope.
That also rules.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, it's Just For Now by Imogen Heap.
Oh God, okay, sure.
Yeah, here, go to like 55. Go to 55 seconds.
Oh God, oof, ow, that's rough.
You don't like that?
That's so rough. Yeah. Ugh, no, thank you.
Okay, well, fair enough.
It sounds like hollow almost.
I guess because you're expecting the thudding bass underneath it.
Yeah, I'm expecting all of the things that I like.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to that song. I was like, oh, that song is also great. In addition to the fucking song, like, yeah, I mean, her lyrics are so like her singing voice is just, it's very sampleable. Like,
yes, clearly.
So yeah, I'm God by Clams Casino. Rules, love it. Good pick. So then, Close Eyes by
Diversed. have no idea.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I love the pluck that they use at the beginning of this, like boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
I love that sound. And then
this is one of the it's just great sounds.
Like, this is what I wanted Sad Gucci Lean Bucket Hat to be.
Yeah, this is again in the section of like, this is the refined version of what was above, right? Like, this is the, like, someone's thought about it and like put it into a more like digestible form.
I love around 40 seconds when they double up the pluck, and it's like a higher kind of like a harmony with it.
Yeah, and it's so understated.
It's very understated. Like, I
love it.
Yeah, this is, you know, like you said, this is a refined version. It's refined. There's so little going on, and it makes it work so perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love what they've done here, and it's a great example of like the side chaining, I guess, right? Because this has a bunch of side chaining in it, right?
Yes, it does. It's not as drastic as it is on like World Away, but like it's definitely there.
Yeah, you can hear it.
I also like, they do a really interesting thing with how it's mixed around 120. It almost sounds like they've made the sound almost sound like it's coming from like behind your head.
Oh yes, when it rotates around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listening to it with headphones on is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, listening to any of these, like, it's like headphones are usually key for listening to something properly. Like, you know, because you really get
100%.
So yeah, this song is good. You know, doesn't overstay its welcome. I like this.
Yeah, hell yeah. This, I was hoping you would, but I felt like this might get too close to like the other, you know, funk and Said Gucci for you.
Yeah, I think
I'm glad you liked it.
I think because of how understated it is, it works for me.
Now, this is a great one.
And then She Swallowed Burning Coals by El Tigre.
Yeah. Yes.
This is just fucking bananas.
Yeah. This is what Suffer With Me needed to do.
Yeah, this goes crazy with it. I love the beginning. It's just like, it's so like, they leave some space, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a constant stream of notes. It's doom, ba doo doom, ba doo doom, ba doo doo. Like, and the robot sounds.
Yeah.
And then
it's very factory. It reminds me a lot of Lorne.
Lorne, yep. I love the little it's like right around 20 seconds. 26 seconds where the breathing in like riser that they use to like jump into the next section.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I wrote down, love how mechanical this sounds. So yeah, yes. Very much like, yeah, it's like that industrial kind of Lorne sound to it.
Yeah. And I do believe this was Hotline Miami.
Okay. I did. I feel like I did see that when I looked this up.
Yeah. Because Hotline Miami was just like, you know, all of the songs on there were bangers.
Never played it, but I'm sure that...
You've never played Hotline Miami?
I never played Hotline Miami.
It's a little bit like having a seizure. I will say that.
I love the synth at 1:15.
Yes. I mean, this song is just filled with like amazing sample stuff.
Yes. That was good. And I also love around 3:24 where it starts like going in like reverse basically.
Yes. It feels like the Sonic levels.
Oh God, that's exactly what it sounds like. Holy shit, it's the Sonic levels.
Yeah, it's the Sonic. You're drowning.
Yeah, and then like it just drops off at like 3:38. Like, oh God, yeah, no, I mean this. Oh no, I really like this one. Like, you know, I felt like your mixtape was starting to wind down, and then this came on. I was like, no, we're back in it. We're going. Oh, it's fucking rules.
Yeah, glad you like it. Yeah, it's just a great energy, fun song.
Yes. So then When I Get There by Big Wild. Yeah, so this is definitely like vibey for sure.
Yeah, this is just a, like, you know, it's a happy song. At least I find it happy. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think happy is the right word for it. It's got like...
Possibility would be the word I would use.
Oh, okay, possibility.
It's very just like hopeful. Just like, yeah, like, cool, yeah.
So...
I mean, I might be being influenced by the picture there.
Well, but like, I mean, it's intentional, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's called Big Wild, too.
Yeah. So 42 seconds. There's that side chain.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right.
Huge side chain. Yes. Just like, bop, holy shit. Bop. It's like, it's so punchy.
Yeah. It's almost like clapping, but with like the volume.
Yes. And I love the guitar like noodling around in the background.
Yes. And then the way it opens up at like 1:30, or I guess a little before that, 1:20.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I had written down more atmosphere now with the bass drum. So it's like it takes the same thing, but like adds a whole bunch of synth and like just washy, like reverby goodness.
Very nice. I do feel like it suffers from the same problem as Suffer With Me, where like the song kind of runs its course, but I do love the sound.
I'm still in it around 2:30, like, because there's that, like, again, the more guitar noodling, but it's more at the front now.
Yeah, but that lasts like 30 seconds. I do like the now part though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. It does finish pretty strong.
Yeah, I feel like I like the song a lot. This is the last song on the album that I really like.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah. Like if the album ended here, I would have been happy.
Yeah. But then I put Cradles on there.
Yeah, so let's listen to Cradles by Suburban.
Yeah.
So I do like the way that this starts. And then there's like a music box thing that comes in pretty, like, I'm trying to listen for it.
Yeah, 39, 35 maybe. Yeah, 35.
35?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
this is the song.
No, not 30. Oh. It's
48.
48. That's where the music box comes in.
You don't like the music box?
No, I like it. That's one of the parts of the song that does grab me because it's sort of like it's slightly behind the beat.
Yes,
which I do like.
Yeah,
but I guess otherwise, I don't know. Like the song it feels like it's something that I've heard a million times. Like,
well, yeah, because in particular, it reminds me of a lot of bands that you've talked about. That's why I kind of put it on here.
Interesting.
It's like that one, like the carnival band you like, Dark Carnival Band or whatever.
Dark Carnival Band.
Like, the like weird, like gothic.
Oh, you mean fucking Birthday Massacre?
Yeah, Birthday Massacre.
It doesn't sound like the Birthday Massacre at all to me. It's too like hip hoppy.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
because Birthday Massacre is very like.
I feel like aesthetically it's similar. Maybe not musically. It's like, it's a carnival-y. I don't know how else to say it.
Carnival-y.
It's like, it's like quirky music almost. It's like quirky dark.
I do like towards the end. Yeah, like around 2:48 where it starts to almost do like a reverse music box thing.
Yeah.
I did dig that. But yeah, I mean, I guess overall, I don't know. It's like, yeah, every time you suggest to me like what sounds to me like, I don't know, indie bands? I don't know if that's the right word. I don't even know if that's really
I don't even know if I would call this indie.
I don't really know what I would describe this as. I don't know.
I don't know
either.
It
feels like more like popular music to me, like not like pop music, but like
it's emo music.
I don't know if I would even describe it as that, but maybe. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I personally also fluctuate on liking this song. So
yeah,
when I put it on here, I was particularly in love with. I finally started understanding the lyrics because I'd listened to it enough.
Okay.
And I like the lyrics, so
yeah. Okay, I guess this is one of those.
They're very like teenage angsty, like I love everything as it burns all around me, and it's just like.
This is one of those rare occasions where you listen to the lyrics and I didn't.
Well, it takes me like a dozen listens to like for the words to start penetrating, and then it gets through to me.
Fair enough,
but I try to avoid that as much as possible.
So the next one,
yes,
Os Tinkoyas.
Yeah.
By Dieksa Agira.
Yes.
Let's go with that. I'm sorry, people that speak Spanish or Portuguese.
Yeah, we just
depending on which one that was.
That. Yeah, I think it's. I'm not even gonna say.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say. It could be.
I don't know. Yep.
Okay.
So you didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just I don't need to listen to it again, and that's I made that distinction for a reason because it's like it's fine, right? But like it is a 6-minute 39-second song.
It could be shorter.
That could be a lot shorter. That was interesting the first time I listened to it, and then every subsequent time I skipped it. It's just like, I mean, like, I did, like, I mean, I listened to it more than once, but, like, I always wanted to skip it. I was like, can I skip it? Like, I don't need to listen to this again.
Yeah, this was kind of a spur of the moment edition, but I do really like it. I'm a sucker for, the mixing of like old style flamenco guitar and like, electronic stuff.
So there's a thing at around 2:55
yes,
that I think is pretty neat where it starts to have kind of like a stuttery echo thing.
Yes, love that part.
I'm into that. There's also like I feel like there's a lot of like panning that's happening in this song.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean,
they're diddling those knobs.
I guess
they're twisting them.
I guess what my issue with it is it's not that it's bad. It's like if somebody put this on, I'd be like, okay, cool. But I'm never going to choose to listen to this song.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah. It's like, it's dance music almost.
Yeah, but it's not punchy enough to be dance music. Like if they had like jacked up the bass and there was like way more, like if there was a big heavy side chain in this, right? I could see that working. But like it stays at kind of like a consistent volume level. It never really like gets huge, I feel like.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Whereas I feel
it's very quiet.
I feel like you need, for dance music to be dance music, it needs to get huge, and this never gets huge. So it's good. It's like, it's a curiosity. That's how I feel about it. It's a curiosity, but it's not something that I need in my life, in the same way that like the first track on your mixtape, I was like, oh God, I could listen to this on repeat for years and never get tired of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me. I understand. It is a little long, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit over long.
I agree with that.
And then,
yes, finally.
Yes, the outro track, Os Successores.
Yes.
Hildegard von Bingen.
Yeah, Hildegard von Bingen.
So,
I mean, sung by Carmina Slavenica.
Yeah, Carmina Slavenica. It's Halo music.
Yeah, it's literal church music.
Yeah, but we don't.
Ancient
it's Halo music, Steven.
But it's
the church of the church of the Spartan Halo time.
Sure. I because I didn't want to make this mixtape really, really long, I put a really short Hildegard song on here, but like, most of them are like 11 minutes. And like, I don't know, they're beautiful, and as an outro track especially, I felt like it was appropriate.
It's a good enough outro track. It's one of those things is like, again, I never put this on, but like, if you put this on while I was riding my warthog through the, Pillar of Autumn, like,
yeah, I like putting this on for like D&D or board games or stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, although that being said, if I'm going to pick my D&D board game music, I'm obviously going to pick the fight music from Witcher 3.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like, talk about fucking music that rules.
But yeah, that's all. I mean, it's just an outro track, really. Although I do think that music is beautiful.
It's beautiful. I just don't. Yeah. Like, I just like, it's like, it's good, right? Like, it's good, like, choir music.
Yeah. I don't listen to it that often, like, just by itself.
Yeah. So I guess to sum up, right? Because we've been going. Oh my God, we've already been going for over an hour again. But this mixtape was better than your first mixtape for me, because there was fewer misses on here. Like, by and large, there was nothing on here where I was like, I'll say it again. There's nothing I really bounced off of.
Yeah. I'm glad. And even some bangers.
There was some. Well, I mean, so. Matter by Moderns, Essence by White Ring, and I'm God by Clams Casino rule like crazy. Like, they're so fucking good. And I mean, World Away, Suffer With Me, Close Eyes, She Swallowed Burning Coals, When I Get There, all very good tracks. There was some other ones where I was like, but like, this was a very solid mixtape.
Yeah, well, hell yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
So what you said your favorite track on this is I'm God, right?
Yeah. Well, that's probably, what's my favorite track? These are all, like, at one point I would say almost all of these were my favorite tracks.
Really?
Yeah, like, it's like, that's what I mean. That's why I do these mixtapes. It's like I go through so many songs, and it's like, at one point I listened to, like, Moderns is from like years ago for me, right? Like, that's a song that's like really early on my playlist.
Well, then I'm mad, Steven. You should have recommended this to me years ago.
Dude, I have so many goddamn songs.
I bet you do. Playlist. That's why we're doing this. That's the beauty of it. I can finally fucking pick your brain on all of this music that I've been missing out on.
341 on my like list. And then if I go to my actual playlist, where it's going to be, I hate how it hides my 498 songs. There we go.
Okay, so
my Y playlist.
We have some material to work through.
Yeah, there's just so many songs.
Although that being said, we don't have to. Maybe we'll do it next time. Maybe we won't. We'll have to see. But you do owe me a Mr. Bungle.
Oh God, yeah.
You're due. You need to recommend a Mr. Bungle album to me so that I can get all bungled up.
Yes. Oh my God, dude. But yeah, dude, I was still living in my apartment back in like university when I added Moderns to this playlist.
God damn it! You've been holding out on me this whole time.
Yeah. But yes, I definitely will.
Okay, cool.
Bungle you soon.
Bungle me. I need to get bungled. All right. Anything else?
Good. No. I think we've done enough, haven't we?
We've bungled enough.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah. See ya.